How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this post-episode 8 live stream. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. We have got a bunch of you in the chat already, and I love it. Starting with Reckless Gaming. How's it going, Reckless? Hope you're having a fantastic day with a hello. You know what? I'm sorry, but the Youper in me has got to do it. Hello. For those who don't know what a Youper is, anybody from the great state of Michigan will know that there's the Upper Peninsula and the Lower Peninsula. The Upper Peninsula, the people there are known as Youpers. Ah, yes. I am not from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, but I have spent quite a bit of time up there. So yeah, it's kind of a funny dialect. It's kind of a mix between I don't know, like Wisconsin meets Canadian meets Southern Midwest kind of thing. It's kind of an interesting one. Anyways, hope you're having a fantastic night so far, Reckless. If I remember right, you said that you're in South Africa, and if that's the case, it's like, what, 3:30 in the morning your time or something? Holy smokes. Jody! Hey, how's it going? Jody says hi. Hope you're having a fantastic night so far, Jody. Ken, hey! How's everyone doing today? Ken, doing fantastic. How are you doing tonight? Let's see. Will T Gaming, what up, everybody? Will, how you doing tonight? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. Reckless says hi. Ken says hey to Will. Jody says hope everyone's having a real good night. Oh, fantastic night. Fantastic night. Do I have some stories to tell? Had a very interesting day leading up to tonight's stream, so gonna be fun. Cannot wait to get into it, but we are gonna wait a few more minutes before we get going. Let's see. Will says hello to everyone. Ken says hi to Jody. Reckless says, oh, I was right, 3:30 in the morning. Holy smokes. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight there, Reckless. I appreciate that. Jody says, real good day. Awesome, bud. Glad to hear it. Ken said 2:30 p.m. here. That's right, New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken, Ken, correct? Let's see. Will says, just finished hauling milk. Yes, Will, I saw your message right before I was hopping on here. Sorry I didn't reply back, but I did see it, and that is insane. 105,000 liters of milk. And then Plus just did the same thing for Slurry, 187,000 liters. Well, yeah, no wonder. I mean, you got, what, like 4,000 cows on the farm there? Yeah, that's going to add up quick. Let's see. Where was I? Ken says, what up, BDD? What up, Ken? Jody says, I never heard of that before. Oh, no? You never heard of the whole Youper? Hello. Yeah, no, one of my favorite movies growing up is a movie with Ken Daniels, and the only reason that it's even one of my favorite movies is called Escanaba in the Moonlight, D.A. Moonlight. And it's all about, Michigan and the Upper Peninsula and all that stuff. It mainly revolves around hunting, and it's really, really funny, but it's one of those that if you are not from Michigan and you don't know like the local lore and legends and stuff like that, most likely you're not going to be able to appreciate it for the most part. It's just one of those kind of very oddly specific kind of movies. But because Jeff Daniels is from Michigan originally, he had no problem with making a movie like that. Let's see. Will said, yo, BDD, yo, Will. Jody says, how are you doing today? Or how are you doing, buddy? I am doing fantastic, bud. Thank you for asking. Good, thanks, BDD. And Ken says, correct. Yes, I can be taught. I can be taught. Jody says, that's a real big farm. Yeah, that is massive farm operation. Will says, my wife wanted to pull an all-nighter. Guess what? She is asleep now. Oh, isn't that the way it goes too? It's like, oh, come on, let's do this. Let's go, and just crash. I kept BDD updated about the testing list, my map, and other news. Yes, he has. And also updated mods. Yes, absolutely. Well, guess what? It is 9:35. Now, before we get going, let me go ahead and say this. If you're out there in the chat right now, go ahead and give yourself a shout out. Let me know that you're out there, because unfortunately YouTube does not have a roll call system. So I have no idea if you're out there unless you say something. So let's get rock and rolling. As you can see, we've got quite a bit of equipment here. Contracts for 40 and 36. So let's get going on those contracts. And they are both hay contracts. You know what? Let's go this way. We are going to go the quote-unquote cheaty way. Hopefully we can get through there without colliding with everything and anything. Maybe. Nope. See? I say it and then I do it. That actually kind of reminds me. There was a comedian, I cannot remember who it was off the top of my head, but he was making an observation about how, you know, when you're growing up, you oftentimes will say things and then immediately follow by doing said thing. And it was one of those, well, the parents following them around and all this stuff, and then the kid says like something like, "Oh crap," and then proceeds to defecate themselves. And yeah, it was just one of those, just the timing was just hilarious. And I wish I could remember what comedian said that, but it was just hilarious. You know what? Why not? We'll just leave it out, because we're gonna have to come over with the tedder anyways, so no sense in trying to clean this up. So we're gonna get a headland going here, and then we are gonna catch up with the chat, because I can see the chat is already moving. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So go ahead and tell my story like I was mentioning earlier. So earlier today, my wife and I had decided that we were gonna, actually yesterday, we had decided that we were gonna go out and do something tonight. And we were thinking about going out and taking the little one out to a local, like parade, fiesta kind of thing in our local area. Well, it ended up to where it was raining for on and off for a good chunk of the day. So we decided, you know what, taking her out to an outdoor event, probably not the greatest thing in the world. So we decided, okay, we'll rein that in and we'll go and do something else. So we ended up going down to a mall where we decided, you know what, we've been sitting at home cleaning all day. You know, my wife, she dedicates Friday. Friday is like everything stops and we just clean. And that's what we do every Friday. And and I'm like, you know what? We've been cleaning all day. I don't want to cook tonight and make a big old mess in the kitchen after just cleaning and then having to worry about cleaning it up or you know, not cleaning it up that well, and then you getting upset at me or something like that. So why don't we just, you know, go out somewhere? We'll go, you know, to a mall or something like that. And the mall specifically that I'm talking to her about going to, or talked to her about going to, has a bunch of restaurants at that particular mall, a bunch of sit-down places, got a little food court and all that stuff. Pretty nice little mall. So we're like, okay, well, we can do a little bit of window shopping. And I also had a little, you know, ulterior motives to get her down there as well. And as we, you know, as I'm pitching this to her, she's like, oh yeah, that'd be fun, you know, be able to go out and, you know, our daughter would be able to go, and they got a little kid area where the kids can run and climb and jump and play and do all that stuff. And it's like a workout. Whoa! I think it's every single time I do this field that I hit that specific tree. Anyways, so we let our daughter, we got there, we let her run around and play. Well, actually, I'm skipping ahead. So on our way down there, we got to take the local highway, and it's a toll road that we have to take. So we end up driving down this toll road, and up by closer to us, it's a 2-lane highway, and then eventually breaks into like a multi-lane, like I think it's like 3 or 4-lane highway in either direction. Well, while it's still a 2-lane highway, I'm, you know, passing by traffic at a pretty decent clip. It's just reduced from 70 miles an hour to 60 miles an hour. but I'm going about 5 to 7 over. We'll say, for sake of argument, 7 miles an hour over the speed limit. Let's just, so we're not nitpicking hairs here. And as I am driving along, I'm passing by traffic in the right lane, and I'm in the left lane, in the passing lane. And all of a sudden, I look in the rearview mirror, and there's a car that was not there 1 second ago, but now is all of a sudden just racing up on my bumper. Just absolutely, just there 1 second. It was wild. They were going every bit of 85 to 90 miles an hour, just racing right up behind me. But there's like 2 or 3 cars that I'm passing, and I'm going about, like I said, 7 over the speed limit. So I am not going a mile over that, because I know that there's a bunch of, cops that travel this, or that will kind of post up on this particular part of the highway. So I'm not going 1 mile over what I'm already going. Well, I eventually get around the cars and whatnot, and I get over into the slow lane to let them pass, and all of a sudden they just gun it. They just absolutely just, you could hear the motor just revving as they drive past me. I'm like, wow, well, that's fun. And they get a little ways down the road, and all of a sudden on my map application, it says that there's a speed trap reported ahead. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So I'm still going about 65 about this. I'm maybe about 5 over the speed limit at this point. Take it down a little bit. And all of a sudden, up in the distance, I see flashing blue lights in front of me. I'm like, oh wait, do I have a instant karma moment? Anybody familiar with the instant karma on YouTube? Whenever something stupid happens behind the wheel, and then a cop just so happens to be at the right place at the right time, sure enough, I end up seeing those blue lights kick on, and they're racing up to catch up to whoever they're trying to catch up to. And then a little bit down the road, maybe about a quarter of a mile to half a mile down the road, I finally see the cop again, because they're very quickly out of my sight. And I see them down the road, and sure enough, that car that came racing up behind me and was just so impatiently wanting me to get out of the way was right on top of my back bumper. Yeah, they were pulled over, and I laughed very hard. Very, very hard. It's like, you know what? I can't feel bad for you. I cannot feel bad whatsoever. If anything, I am praising the cop, saying thank you for getting this yahoo off the road, because like I said, at that point it was 60 miles an hour. I'm going 67, and they flew by me like I'm standing still. So they're doing every bit of 20, 25 to 30 miles over the speed limit, like dangerous speeds at this point, especially for this stretch of road. And sure enough, they're the one that got pulled over, and I'm just laughing the whole time. And my wife, she's like, what just happened? And I looked at her and it's like, that guy who went racing by us, who ran right up on our bumper? She's like, yeah. It's like, he just got pulled over. And she did it too. She sat there and got a big old laugh. It's like just instant karma, just instant road justice. And it's like, you know what? I hope that they weren't going through something where they felt they needed to go at that speed. I hope they were just being kind of stupid. But one of those where, even if that's the case, I have a hard time thinking that there's a justifiable reason to go, that fast beyond traffic, other than just sheer stupidity. So that was a very, very interesting happenings that happened today. But yeah, so after that we ended up getting to the mall. And as we got to the mall, I had some, like I said, some ulterior motives as I wanted to go to this particular mall. And it's very rare that I will suggest to go to the mall. I'm not a mall kind of guy. I don't really care to go to the city at all. It's just, not my cup of tea at all. Well, one of those where I decided the whole reason that I wanted to go to this mall in particular is they have this store uh, that has these bath bombs, and my wife loves bath bombs. She loves to take baths. She just loves to soak and have like just kind of a relaxing time. And let's see. Okay, yeah, that's going. And actually, here, let me catch up with the stream before I get going on the rest of the story. Because, yeah, there's a lot of people talking right now. So, where was I? I think I last left off with Jody. I stayed up one time 3 days. Holy smokes, Jody. Whew. Yeah, no, dude, that's way too long. Hope that was a long time ago when, and not for any reason in particular, because, wow, that's long. Luke Marshall, how you doing? Hello, everyone. Hello, Luke. How you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Ken says hi to Luke. Wilty says, I'm spreading solid manure right now. Nice. Hey, Luke. Luke says, how's everyone doing? Doing fantastic, Luke. Thank you for asking. Ken says, how much manure was produced? Well, yes, I'm rather curious myself. Reckless says, what are you doing today? Well, right now we are working on contracts. We got a couple of contracts that we have to work on before winter sets in. As you can see, it is September. We are about about one more month with potential contracts at this point, and we're just trying to make as much money as we can. At this point, I've got enough bales back at the farm where I don't have to have more bales. I can just worry about getting money right now. So 220,000. For anybody who has not seen the previous episode from that released last night, episode 8, we made an absolute killing off of producing seeds and selling them off. Same thing with the lime. We made quite a bit of money. If I take a look really quickly, let's see. $245,000 in harvest income, and that is directly because of the seeds and the lime that we produced. So if you haven't seen that episode yet, check it out, because I thought it was a good one and made a ton of money. And the way that I produced the seeds specifically, that is the key. That is the key to not only be able to make a ton of seeds, but to make a good healthy profit too. So check it out. Anyways, we've got Will saying 113,000 liters. Woo! That's a lot of manure. Ken said, yeah, that's a lot. Yes. Will says Connect Modding might be making Case IH MX series. Ooh, and the John Deere 455 no-till drill seeder. Ooh, nice. That'll be nice. Yes, it is. LOL. Jonah! Hey, how's it going, Jonah? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. It says, hello, BDD. Let's see. Will then says, hey, BDD, should we ask the chat to see what they think of the idea I told earlier? Yeah, told either. I think that's supposed to be told earlier. At the moment, Will, I would say no, because nothing is finalized at this point, and we're unsure of when it would be able to be happening. So I would say not at the moment until things start to actually come to fruition that we should start sharing that information. Jody says that is karma, 100% karma. Yeah, 100%. I was well, and I don't even think I said this, but he's sitting there and he's flashing his lights. I'm going about 7 miles over to the speed limit. Like I said, at the absolute maximum, I'm going over the speed limit. But there's 2 or 3 cars that are stacked up in the slow lane, one right after another. So it's one of those, I'm passing the cars, I'm going as fast as I'm comfortable with going, and I'm not going to go faster just because you want to, more than 3 times, my speed kind of thing. No. I'm not playing that game at all. I'm not going to get a super speeder ticket because you may or may not have things going on in your life, kind of thing. So no. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, Jonah says, I watched a guy go around down train gates and get pulled over immediately by a cop. Yeah, see, that's it. That's the other thing, is just instant karma. That beautiful driving justice, that you see somebody doing something incredibly stupid and incredibly hazardous, and they get their comeuppance. Just like somebody who is in the middle of a traffic jam and they start going off onto the shoulder to get around everyone, and then they get pulled over. Like, yeah, absolute, just pure mwah, chef's kiss justice. Love it. Absolutely love it to see that kind of stuff happen. Let's see. Ken says, what idea? So Ken, like I said, it's something that I'm not comfortable with sharing just right now, but when things start happening, we will inform people. I promise. I absolute promise. Let's see. Where was I? Jonah says, and I got it on video. Oh, nice, Jonah. That's awesome. See, that's even better. See, yeah, because I've got the dash cam myself. Like I said on this channel numerous times, dash cam. I cannot speak highly enough about dash cams. They, at bare minimum, give you something to talk about, and at maximum, they can save your backside something fierce. I've seen it numerous times. I've experienced it numerous times. Yeah. If you have not invested in a dash cam, please think about getting one at your earliest convenience, because, and it's not like I'm sponsored or anything. I'm not shouting anybody out in particular. I'm just saying I've seen it happen in my personal life, and if it was not without having one of those dash cams, I would have been just absolutely hamstrung in the situation. Yeah, it's better to have and not need it than need it and not have it. That's always how I describe it. Ken says, I missed the first stream. Oh, sorry about that, Ken. That's all right, though. You're here today, and we're going to rock and roll all together. Luke says, I'll be back in a little bit. All right, Luke, we'll see you in a little bit. Will says, gotcha. And Jody says, how's your wife feeling today? Better? How's your wife feeling, buddy? Any better? Yes, she is. She's doing much, much better. She's finally starting to get over being sick, and is kind of just on the tail end of everything now. So yeah, everything's going much, much better now. Thank you for asking. Let's see. And Gavin, how's it going, Gavin? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. It says, hello, man. Do you play on PC or laptop? So I actually play on console. I'm on a Xbox One. I'm sorry, Xbox Series X. Wow, that was a blast from the past. So yeah, that's playing on a Xbox Series X. Reckless says, God bless you, do not swear. No, I try not to swear as best as I can, especially on streams here. One of those that I do substitute words out there, but not, not one of those where I make a habit of it on stream. I try and be a good boy. Let's see. Jody says, where was I? Yeah. I got one for my Dodge Ram truck. Oh, see? Yep, exactly, bud. Exactly. They will save your bacon so much. One of those where I cannot speak highly enough about dash cams. Like I said, perfect example is when my wife was actually driving. She was heading down the street, had my daughter in the car with her, and where the road, it's a single lane road going, or not single lane, but it's one lane of traffic in each direction, kind of thing. And then the traffic opens up into two lanes. The left lane is the left turn lane and straight lane, and the right lane is the right turn lane. So dedicated right in the right lane, and then left and straight in the left lane. Well, it's right there next to a McDonald's that's down the road a ways. And my wife, she thinks that she turned on her blinker a bit potentially too early, kind of thing. So she was going to make a right turn, but it was at the light that was just at the intersection beyond where the McDonald's is, because the McDonald's is right on the corner, on one of the corners of this intersection there. Well, as she had her blinker on, I guess this person thought she was turning into McDonald's, and then pulls out in front of my wife. My wife just blasts right into her. Actually, no, vice versa. She hits my wife in the passenger door. Let me think. Yeah, in the passenger door. For some reason she claimed that my wife was supposed to be turning, but then she hit her in the passenger door. Like, it was really, really weird. It was a really weird situation, but she hit so hard that she actually kind of bounced off of our car and into the embankment, where she hit this concrete like retaining wall that's like an inlet for the sewers and whatnot. And like, that's how hard she hit, off of her, because she just kept on just bouncing off and went into it. And she's sitting there saying, "Oh, I don't know what she was doing." She said, or she had a turn signal on and all this stuff. And my wife, she said, "Well, I think I had my turn signal on," but she wasn't exactly sure what was going on at that point. She was more at that point concerned about her daughter and all that stuff that's going on. And the cop's like, "Well, one, it doesn't matter if she had her turn signal on or not. She could have had it on for half a mile down the road. It's on you to make sure that traffic's clear." Well, then I pulled the camera footage, and she didn't even stop at the stop sign. The person coming out of the McDonald's parking lot there didn't even stop. She just blew right through the stop sign. You could see it clearly on the dash cam. So it's one of those, like, even though the cop didn't sound like he was buying anything that she was saying, 'cause she was trying to obfuscate fault by saying that, "Oh, well, she had her turn signal on," kind of thing. One of those that, without that, and without it saying or showing specifically, like, she didn't even come to a stop at the stop sign. She just barreled right through it. It's just could have had some issues with the insurance company, because the first thing I did was, send it to the cop and then send it to the insurance companies, kind of thing. And at that point, no issues with the insurance companies. It was just paid and good to go, kind of thing. So one of those, I cannot speak highly enough of dash cams. Gavin says, "Gotcha," and Will says, "I'm using the John Deere 7810 by JAHG Modding and the K-brand SLC 141 manure spreader." Will also says, "I saw someone yesterday pass 3 people in the center lane and almost take out another car. Saw the same car 2 miles up the road pulled over. State trooper was right behind me. LOL. They also based the Oh, so they also passed the guy. Oh, wow. Yeah, see, it's absolutely wild what people think they can get away with. What they think they can do in order to just, like nobody else in the world exists. Like, you exist in their world, and you should be just grateful enough to be in it, kind of thing. And it's the most wild kind of attitude, I think, for anybody to have. It is just nuts to me. But yeah, it was one of those where and another example why I always say it's always better to have a dash cam and not need it than need it and not have it. Again, another time we were driving, my wife, she was about 7 or 8 months pregnant. Might have been about 8 months pregnant at this point. Like, we were right there. And we were driving down the road, and we were coming up to a 2-way stop sign. So not the lane of travel that I was not the lane of travel or direction of travel. There we go. Those are the combinations of words. Not the direction of travel that I was going in, but the other person was going in had the stop signs. So there was stop signs to my left and to my right, but for my direction of travel, it was no stop sign. Well, as we're coming up to the intersection, all of a sudden this person just blows right through the stop sign and just T-bones me, hits me on my side of the car, and pushes us into the basically into the intersection going towards the like the curb and whatnot. I thankfully was able to stop before we hit it, kind of thing, because if we did, we probably would have broke something even more than what was broken at that point. And we end up getting pulled over and whatnot. And she goes and tells the cop, it's like, I don't know what happened. You know, my Volvo was supposed to stop at the stop sign. And the cop looks at her and is like, ma'am, you're driving a Volvo. You don't have a Tesla. Like, no idea what she was thinking. No idea why she didn't think she had to stop or why she thought her car was going to stop for her. But again, she's sitting there just coming up with excuse after excuse after excuse, trying to obfuscate and make it our responsibility and not hers. And finally, the cop's like, ma'am, like, it doesn't matter what you say right now. You are clearly and obviously at fault. Again, it's one of those situations where it was obvious, and thankfully the cop knew that. But it's one of those too where without that dash cam footage, again, I sent it first to the cop, second to the insurance company. And again, without sending it to the insurance company, because after I had gotten home and sent it off to the insurance company came back to me and said, oh, well, she's fighting the claim, saying that she shouldn't be responsible for it. But with my dash cam footage, it showed that I didn't have to stop, I wasn't responsible for it, and that the cop's assessment was accurate, kind of thing. So it was just one of those kind of situations where you never know what's going to happen, you don't know when you're going to need it. So yeah, I cannot speak highly enough of them. Yes. Will says they need to be more strict on getting licensed driver's licenses. So it's not even necessarily like what it takes to get a driver's license. One of the biggest issues, especially down here in my state of Florida, is that there's very little in the ways of requirements after you reach a certain age. So where I came from in Michigan is once you hit, I think it's like 65 or something like that, you have to take yearly visual and hearing tests to make sure that you're qualified to be able to maintain a license. Well, to me that makes sense. To me that makes complete and total sense. Is that once you reach a certain age, you do not react as quickly, you do not hear as well, see as well, all those things. So it's one of those that I don't like thinking of putting restrictions on people at all. And neither one of the situations I just talked about would have prevented it with what I'm talking about. I'm just saying as a for instance. But it's one of those where driving is a privilege and it's not a right. That's what I've always been told from the time I turned 16 to now. It's that it's nothing that is guaranteed, and that you need to be able to show that you're responsible enough to be able to manage it, kind of thing. And I think that there's too often a sense of, well, this is something I'm entitled to, this is something I deserve, and not a, well, this is something that I am privileged to be able to do, kind of thing. And don't get me wrong, I think it would be absolutely devastating to not have a driver's license. So I'm not saying this with any kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not saying it lightly. I'm not saying like, hey, we need to start taking people's licenses away and doing all this kind of stuff. No, it's that, especially when you're an irresponsible driver, there needs to be a much lower threshold for your level of irresponsibility to suffer punishment in some sort of way. You know, like I said, in the case of today where this person was clearly going, 25 to 30 over the speed limit, just flying past me like I was standing still, like that's one where I'd be like, you know what, license suspended for an undetermined amount of time, whether it's 6 months, a year, whatever the case may be. Like just taking traffic safety courses and stuff like that, I don't think is enough. Let's see. Gold Gaming, hey, says howdy neighbors, how's it going, Gold? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Ken says, hey, Gold Gaming, and hi to Ken. Will says, my buddy who is a cop pulled over a drunk driver a few days ago. Yeah, see, that is exactly what I'm talking about. I had a friend who he bless his heart, was one of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet, but he had problems. He had problems, and one of them was with alcohol. He got really heavily into it when he was serving. He was in the Marines for a while there, and he just got really out of control, and it really kind of took a hold and got a grips on him really badly. Well, he used to ride a motorcycle, like a crotch rocket style motorcycle, and as he's kind of doing his thing, he ended up going out to the bar one night, and he had one too many to drink, and got pulled over, and he ended up basically having to take a driver safety course. Now, in his case, he's riding a motorcycle. Most likely, the only person he's going to hurt himself, but I'm talking physically in that point. Heaven forbid, something happened to him, and the person that he gets into it with now has to live the rest of their life knowing that they did something like that they hurt somebody, or heaven forbid that it went even further than that. Thankfully, I think that was the kind of wake-up call that he needed, because as far as I'm aware, he hasn't touched a drop since. And it was one of those where, it was kind of a blessing in disguise. But he ended up paying like $5 or $6 grand, for lawyers and all that stuff. He had a bunch of points on his license, but he didn't get his license revoked or anything like that. He had to take a driver safety course and pay a bunch of fees and fines and all that stuff. But it's just one of those, like, for those who follow the channel a lot, for a while now, I've said numerous times, I watch tons of, police dash cam and body cam and all that kind of stuff. And I can tell you just so many times where I've seen cops pull over drunk drivers, and it's like they're completely oblivious, like they didn't do anything wrong. Not just in the moment, because you kind of anticipate that they're not going to be the most cognitively aware of their situation and all that stuff, what they've done, in retrospect kind of thing. But even after the fact, there's so many times where I've seen these people like commit their 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 20th infraction, and they just don't care. They just have zero cares in the world. And there was one time where it was I think it was a Code Blue Cam was the channel that I was watching, and mainly their content nowadays takes place in Wisconsin. Lots of Wisconsin stuff, and I'm not saying anything in particular about Wisconsin, but I'm not going to be going there anytime soon just because of Code Blue Cam. At least I'm not going to go to any of the cities around there, because wow, does it look wild up there. Anyways, one of those where this person had been pulled over at least a dozen times, had a suspended license, so no shocker there, and they were completely drunk, totally out of their mind kind of thing. They got pulled over, and they had tons of damage on the front of their car. Just tons of damage. They ended up T-boning the cop in the intersection. They drove, bounced off the cop, and then drove into a light pole, and the light pole fell onto the top of their car. And it was like they didn't even notice. They had no clue. And that they're trying to fire the car up. They don't even recognize that they hit a cop. They try firing the car back up and then leaving. They tried to leave the scene. And the cop's like, whoa, 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 you gotta stop, pull over. And I think they weren't drunk, but I think they were high on Xanax or something like that, one of the big downers and stuff. And it's like, man, what are you thinking? Why would you ever think that was a good idea? And like I said, he hit the cop got hurt. He had to go to the hospital that night. His car was destroyed, and what was even worse is that the cops, after they arrested him, they ended up finding on this guy's Facebook page where him and that same friend that was in the car accident with him they were actually videotaping themselves doing Facebook Lives, doing 130 miles an hour down a highway. Like, it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And they ended up prosecuting them. Why is this now? Go down. Come on, go down. There we go. It was some of the most ridiculous stuff I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's like, again, just doesn't have a care in the world. Does not care who he could affect, who he could hurt. It was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. So here, I'm going to get over to this point. I'm going to catch up with the chat here real quick. Oh, and I'm seeing more people in the chat, so I will, yeah, definitely be catching up here in just a second. About right there, maybe. There we go. Yep, perfect. Okay. Where was I? There we go. Will says the drunk driver tried to run. Oh my goodness. See, and that's even worse. That is infinitely worse, because not only are you driving while intoxicated, but you're trying to run from the police while intoxicated. I mean, just what are you thinking? Like, oh my goodness. Reckless says, do you like Farming Simulator 16? I love it. I honestly haven't played it. I haven't played 16. The only versions of Farming Simulator I've ever played is 19 and 22. I fell so deeply in love with Farming Simulator because of FS19 that I've been playing it pretty much non-stop ever since. It is one of the greatest games in my opinion, and probably one of the most underrated games as well. Like, if I could go around singing this game from the rooftops kind of thing, I probably would. Well, I guess I kind of am, seeing as I have a channel that's completely dedicated to Farming Simulator content. Let's see, Smoke82 says, howdy folks. Howdy Smoke, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Must be something in the chat. Yes, right? Oh my goodness. Yeah, like I said, if you've never seen it before and are interested in that kind of content, check out Code Blue Cam. It is a really good channel. He's got very good kind of like voiceovers and stuff. I will say that here recently he's gotten a bit more vocal and using a bit more curse words and stuff like that. So if that's not your cup of tea, then I completely understand. But one of those where if you're just looking for like dash cam, body cam footage kind of stuff, I do recommend it just because of the content. And then you can find out the lore of the Wisconsin T-Rex, also known as Noah. I will leave that as an Easter egg for anybody who wants to go ahead and do a little bit of a deep dive. It is, in my opinion, hilarious, but sad at the same time. Let's see. Will says something in the cheese. Got 4 manure pits emptied. Nice, bud. What are 2 things you missed from 19? So 2 things I missed from 19. One of them absolutely is the fact that we cannot rake out the animal pens anymore. That is, I think, one of the biggest things I missed, because I thought that was such an interesting game mechanic, and that it also affected the health of the animals. Oh, I used to love that. I used to really love it, and then it just completely went away. But what I also really liked about it too is that if you had the individual components for food for pigs, so let's say you had potatoes, corn, canola, so on and so forth, you had all the individual components. What came out as the slop on the floor that you had to pick up was pig food. And that was infinitely more valuable than all the other components that you're putting in as a base price. So I would always collect all that stuff and then ship it off to sell at a profit. And it's like, hey, I'll take it. I'll take that all day, every day. And then another thing that I miss about 17 that didn't make its way to 19 that didn't make its way to 22 was the maps. Several of the maps that were on 19 that didn't make their way to 22, I was absolutely devastated about. And I've said this before, Spectacle Island was one I was really hoping. I was really keeping my fingers crossed about that one. And unfortunately, not so much. Not so much. Didn't get those particular ones. I mean, Lone Oak is another one. There was just tons and tons of different maps out there that would have been amazing to see come to 22. I understand why they don't come. A lot of the map makers want to not just rehash the past, but they want to innovate and bring something new to the table. And I appreciate that, and I 100% respect that. But it's at the same time, it's like, man, I would have really loved to have seen a few of these like classic, amazing maps make their way back to the new platforms, especially considering the updates and upgrades that we got from this generation of gaming versus the previous. The productions would have been amazing on a map like Spectacle Island, would have been amazing on Lone Oak, would have been amazing on so many of these other maps that were for 19 that didn't make their way to 22. So yeah, those are the biggies. Ken says, I did an experiment on Alma, harvested a wheat field on startup farm, and got 73,000 liters of it. Did a second harvest of the same field, wheat, using swath mower, and picked up header, got 63,000 liters off of it. Second Alma map. Really? Now, Ken, was it... Okay, so I read down a little further. Reckless says, I am going to play Farming Simulator 16. I will be back soon. All right, Reckless, well, I hope you have yourself a good night and enjoy 16. We'll see you again real soon. Let's see. Will says, yeah, that's another thing. Seasons. Yeah, absolutely miss seasons. I love how you could do so many different things with seasons that we don't get here. The grass drying I thought was a really big step up compared to what we have here, to where all you do to dry grass to make hay is you just take a tedder and flip it and it's done. But with the previous iteration with seasons, you had to first ted it and it became partially dried, and then you had to let it sit in the sun undisturbed for like 12 hours or something like that. It was a decent amount of time. Like, it was not short. And once that happened, then it became hay, and then you could do something with it. But you also had the degradation of the product on the field. So if you had straw or grass on the fields and you left it on the fields for too long, it would start to wither away and start to just disintegrate, kind of thing, and be like reabsorbed into the earth kind of stuff. Which, I mean, kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, man, it really makes an urgency. But what was also really cool about it is that if you didn't, what was I going to say? Oh, that's what I was going to say. So if you were trying to make hay, perfect example, if you're trying to make hay, and like I said, you had to let it sit out undisturbed for like 12 to 24 hours, however long it was, I don't remember exactly. But if you had rain or anything like that, let's say you had fully dried grass, but then all of a sudden, boom, it starts to rain, it then all of a sudden goes back to the previous state of partially dried kind of thing. So it was one of those, like I said, you literally have to have it undisturbed for X amount of time, and then once it's undisturbed for that X amount of time, then you finally get to make it into hay, and then you can finally, work with that kind of thing. So it was really cool to be able to kind of do that that stuff there. Let's see. Yeah, so Will said, missing and cleaning up after animals. Yeah, 100%. Miss the animal cleanup. Ken says, no prep work on either field. So yeah, that's weird. I wonder why it was 10,000 liters less. Just doing the same exact work. That seems really odd. Will says, really miss Lone Oak. Yeah, Lone Oak was an amazing map. Really missed that one. Smoke82 says FS16 is mobile version. Oh, well, yeah, then, yeah, I haven't played a single one of the mobile versions. So, yeah, definitely one of those that I didn't touch. Ay, 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 this is... Here we go. Let's just get this done. And cut the wheel! Alright, what I'm going to do too is I'm going to kind of go around the outer edge here, because I think if I go in this, yeah, see, if I go in this direction, I'll get these little bits and chunks that I missed. And there's a couple of pretty decent sized chunks. So, let's see. Let's just get these, because this is all money. This is all money that I could miss out on if I don't just, you know, do it. Let's see. Will says the bale rotting was awesome. Yes, bale rotting. That's what it was called. That was awesome. Yeah, I absolutely loved that, because it just, again, any time that we can get just that, you know, the option of realism. And again, I prefer them to be options. Like, it's something that if you don't like it, you don't have to have seasons, kind of thing. But it's something else where you can, you know, very easily, if you want it, you can have it. It's awesome. I absolutely adore it. That's one of the things I love about this game, is that it's so up to the person who's playing it. It's up to whatever they want in order to make it the game they want it. It's so customizable and so completely interchangeable that literally can offer something to just about anyone. And if you're even partially interested in the whole farming experience kind of thing, then you can't go wrong with this game. You just can't. And don't get me wrong, there's certain things about this game that, you know, have some rough patches or have some warts on them. But at the end of the day, it's not to a point to where it's so disqualifying of a feature that you can't look past it, kind of thing. At least nothing I can think off the top of my head to be like, you know what, if this doesn't get fixed, I'll never touch this game ever again, kind of thing. Like, I can certainly think about tons of different things, tons of different features on other games. I'd be like, you know what, if this isn't in it or this doesn't work or whatever, then I'm not going to pick up this game again. I'm just done with it, kind of thing. Like I said, there's been some hiccups. There's been some whoopsies, you know, throughout the lifespan of FS22, but I kind of figured that was going to be the case when I heard that Giants is going to be basically undertaking everything, so, you know, from top to bottom. When they said that they are basically, you know, in charge of every component on the game now, yeah, it's one of those that you knew there was going to be some issues. You knew there was going to be growing pains, but it's just one of those kind of baked in the cakes kind of thing. So I was personally okay with it. It was, you know, it was annoying, don't get me wrong. There was some times where I was like, oh man, I really just want this game to work and work the way I anticipate it to work. But at the same time, it's one of those where you can't, well, you can, but you can't really be too upset over, like, the first time kind of thing. All right, now let's go to the field right across here. Let's see if I can sneak my way in. Maybe. Nice. Oh, there's a pond. Let's see. Let's drop this back down. Let's get over to the starting position, and then I will catch up with what everyone's saying. All right. So let's catch up with the chat. So we've got Will says, aka they go away if left out in the rain or snow. Yes. I think the animations are better in FS22 though. Yeah, 100%. That's why I would have such a hard time with going from 22, like we are here, to 19. I would have a very, very hard time personally, because it's just, there are such big improvements to 22 that really makes 19, even though it's still an amazing game, don't get me wrong, it's still a great game, there's things in this game that if I were to go back to 19, I would miss so badly that I would be like, you know what, I can't. I just can't not have it. Like the productions, perfect example. There were some gamers, some modders that were kind of taking a crack at the whole productions aspect. In 19, they were basically using the backbone of the animal productions in order to make like basically the first pass at the productions as a whole. And it was a good concept, and I think that's what Giants did in order to kind of utilize what we now know as productions in FS22. I think they basically took that idea and refined it with its own system, with its own kind of throughput kind of thing. And I'm glad they did it. I'm severely glad that they did it. And it's one of those where I know there's some people out there who's like, oh, well, it's no longer farming simulator, it's production simulator kind of thing. And yeah, that's a valid critique, but at the same time, it's one of those, like, you don't have to do it. You don't have to use the productions at all. You can just do farming. And again, that's what's amazing about this game, is it is what it is you want it to be. If you want to be a cattle farmer and have, 5,000 heads of cattle, you can do that. If you want to be a grain farmer, you can be a grain farmer. If you want to be a sugarcane farmer down in the middle of Brazil, you can be a sugarcane farmer in the middle of Brazil. It's fantastic. The level of simulation is so customizable that it is whatever you want it to be. It's amazing. So yeah, if I had the ability to just go around and talk about Farming Simulator to people, man, would I would do it, and I would have so much fun doing it. Which again is basically what I'm doing here tonight, but kind of speaking to the choir, I feel like here. Like everybody here is like, oh yeah, Farming Simulator, we agree. At least I wouldn't think of too many people that would be on the flip side of that conversation. Let's see. All right, let me catch up with the chat because I kind of got distracted there. All right, so Luke says, I am back in. All right, Luke, glad to see you back. Hope you had fun while you were away. Let's see. Saskatchewan, hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. We have Seedhawk, Verderstadt, 84-foot air drill, disc on the grain. We 3 John Deere combines, 670, 680, 780, with 40-foot MacDon headers. I'm a real grain farmer for 3 years now in Saskatchewan. In 5 weeks, I will be seeding. Nice, Saskatchewan. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of work. In spring, I have no time for FS22. I get ready for seeding in 5 weeks with our Vaderstadt Seahawk. Yes, yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's a massive unit there, an absolute beast of a unit. Will says, I feel like we are good to hear about the next FS game soon. Yeah, I think we're going to hear about it too. It's one of those where I think they're going to probably do something similar to what they did the year before, where with FS22, where they just dropped that little bitty teaser trailer. That maybe like 15-second trailer, if anybody remembers it, to where it kind of showed the different seasons in the background, the hat kind of flying across the screen and landing on top of the truck kind of thing. That specific trailer, I think we're going to come out with, I think they're going to be coming out with something like that, probably here in the not too distant future. And then, all the Sherlock Holmeses out there will be like, oh, did you notice this? Oh, did you notice that? And me being Mr. Oblivious about pretty much everything, again, ask my wife, she'll tell you with a smile on her face and how oblivious I am. I'll be like, no, I didn't notice that. Oh yeah, and I'll rewatch it and be like, oh yeah, there it is. And it is plain as day. As soon as it's pointed out to me, it's like, oh yeah, okay. I didn't notice that before. I wish I would have. I'd make a terrible detective. There'd be a body right in front of me, and I'd be like, okay, what do I do next? That's a thing there. Yeah, no, I would be terrible at it. Would not do well at all. Let's see. And Saskatchewan says Edmonton Oilers won yesterday 8-3 against Buffalo. Nice. Good job, bud. Yeah, they're doing real good this year. Will says I tried going back and missed rolling. Yeah, right. And that's the other thing is there's rolling, there's stone picking, there's all these different like additional things to do. Now, you know what? Something else I missed from 19 is the transport missions. I missed the transport missions. It was one of those that just kind of broke up the whole farming aspect of things where you could just lift things out of trailers, move it around the map, and kind of go places that you wouldn't necessarily always go to kind of thing. It was nice. It was cool kind of doing those things. I do miss them, but it's one of those where, again, the way my mind works and the way I play is that I would have such a hard time because I'd be looking at 19 and be like, oh man, I miss the flick of the hay. Oh man, I miss the stone picking. Oh man, I miss the rollers. And then I'd be like, you know what? Let's just go back to 22. Let's just do that. Saskatchewan says I will never go back to FS19. I will keep FS22 still. I miss FS17 maps. Great game. And that's the thing. That's the other thing I miss. Like I said, are the maps. There are tons of maps from 19 and before that, with no experience of my own because again, 19 is the only one I played besides 22. There were great maps that they're just absolute classics that didn't make their way, and I was really hopeful for them to make their way over to here, but they didn't. And I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll hop on FS19. And I'll make a list of, oh, these are the 10 maps I wished came to FS22. It's like, oh man, and I can tell you what, I can tell you right now, Spectacle Island would be number one on that list for me. Lone Oak be right up there in the top 5. You got Pacific Northwest, that'd be another one up there for me. Again, there'd be tons of maps on FS19 that I wish came out to 22 that just didn't. Let's see. Will says Connect Modding's new map coming out on the 29th. Looks awesome. Oh man, I wanna check that one out. Do you remember what it's called, Will? The map that's coming out. Let's see. Saskatchewan says when FS22 going to make Morris air drills. More than likely, Saskatchewan. Probably the reason they haven't gotten that particular brand is because they're just not licensed with them, kind of thing. Wouldn't shock me though if somebody like actually made a mod and just called it Lizard. That's just a thought. Saskatchewan says those big air drills are freaking huge. We need them for the big farmers. Use the big air drills on the huge grain farm. Oh yeah, they're absolutely massive units. Those Seed Hawks. I mean, I've only ever seen them in game, but it's just one of those where just seeing them in game and kind of, you know, having perspective in that particular sense, yeah, it just seems impressive. Just seems absolutely impressive. But I was so if I remember right, oh no, I'm missing stuff. If I remember right, I think I was heading up to Michigan the last time I was going up there, and as I was driving through, I ended up seeing one of the biggest farming setups I've ever seen in my entire life. So I'm sitting there driving down the road, and all of a sudden I'm just seeing dust. What seems like tons of dust getting kicked up miles down the road. I'm like, huh, that seems odd. Like almost to the point where it seemed like it might have been like smoke from fire kind of thing, but it's like, it's just something doesn't seem right about it. So we're driving down the road, and it's getting thicker and thicker and whatnot, and all of a sudden I see, you know, I get to this huge clearing, this huge field opens up right next to the highway, and there's like 5 of these giant John Deere tractors just driving in this field, and they're doing this huge, I want to say they were plowing. Yeah, that's exactly what they were doing. Is they were plowing, and they were just tilling up the land and just going at it. And it's like, man, is that cool? And you could just see just how deep they were ripping into the ground and doing all that. And it's like, man, that is just wild. And you could see them just, one right after the other after another. It just reminded me of what you would see in like certain maps for PC players with the what is it, the Follow Me mod or whatever it's called, where they have the various workers that can like kind of tag along behind them, kind of thing. It just seemed like something like that. It was just one after the other, and it's just boom, 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 boom. It's like, oh man, that's so cool. And imagine just the level of precision, the amount of the amount of precision that you need to be able to go one after the other, and to be able to be consistent and not, throw the next worker off, or to not miss a chunk or anything like that. Like, it takes a lot of concentration, a lot of a lot of paying attention, kind of thing. Not something that you can just kind of be, kind of ropey dopey about and just kind of doing your own thing. Perfect example is like Jeremy Clarkson. And I'm sure a lot of that's kind of done up for TV kind of thing. Yeah, I would imagine that it is. But one of those where in the first season, I think it was, of Clarkson Farm, he ended up doing planting, and he miscalculated the guidelines. The was it the ridge markers? No. What is it called? Basically, the seeder that he was using could program the width in which you can set a gap in the crop that you're planting. And specifically what it's for is when you have your fertilizer runs. When you're doing fertilizer with your big what are they called? The big sprayers, the big fertilizer sprayers. These things here. It's set to a specific width to where the tires will fit down these lanes without destroying any crops. And he completely screwed it up. Like, he didn't do the math right, or he didn't do something right in the setup. And there's Caleb, his assistant, or the worker that works with him, basically having to try and figure out, how do I go about doing this without destroying a whole bunch of crop, and literally there's nothing he can do about it at that point. So yeah, it's a funny show. If you've never seen it before, give it a look. I think it's funny. It's on Amazon Prime. All right, so we've got, we'll go ahead and we'll use this one. I might regret it, but we'll see. Alright, we're gonna squeak through. I tell you what, that is an impressive unit right there. I do like it. I do like that Pottinger Tedder there. There we go. Let's see. Let me look at the chat. Oh, yeah, looks like the chat froze on me. It's back up now. Reckless says, I'll be back soon. All right, Reckless, I hope you have a good time playing FS16. Let's see. Will says, I also miss Chellington Valley by Oxygen. Yeah, that was another good one, too. Pretty much anything by Oxygen David and all the people that we've mentioned numerous times on this channel. Yeah, basically any map of theirs that didn't make it to 22, it was a shame. It was an absolute shame. Would have loved to have seen it. Anything by Alien Jim, especially, in my opinion. There was tons by Alien Jim that we didn't get a chance to have. Seems like he only did like 3 maps in 22. I think it was No Man's Land, Western Wild, which Western Wild was really good. I really enjoyed that one, and Rock Crawl, I think, were the 3 that he did for 22. Yeah, I was really disappointed that we didn't get more from him. Did you like the Sussex Farm by Alien Jim on FS19? Yes. Yeah, that was another real good one by Alien Jim. And like I said, basically anything by Alien Jim was gold. You know, same thing with a lot of the map makers we talked about before. Just so many things that could have, but didn't. Smoke says, lots of those maps you cannot. Whoops. A lot of those maps you named came out in FS17 first. Yeah, so, I mean, again, it doesn't surprise me. Like, the map makers, they just don't want to have to rehash and remake them over and over and over again, kind of thing. They want to be able to stretch their legs and do something new. You know, so I get it. I completely get it. Let's see. Smoke also says we had transport missions back in FS15, FS19. Maybe they'll come back in 25. You know what? I would definitely like that. I thought that it kind of was a nice change of pace. But what I would really like more than anything is Giants to kind of better refine the mission system as a whole. And what I mean by that is, so when we get missions, especially for console players, now this isn't such a worry for people on PCs and Macs, but for console players, we have to sit here and kind of do the whole save, refresh kind of thing. So you save, back out, come back in, and then you can get more contracts if they're in the background. It'd be nice if we had a button to where we could just press on this screen and be like, oh, hey, press X, and it'll refresh the stuff in the background kind of thing, just to make sure. Because I know like PC and Mac players get something like that. It'd just be nice. It'd be really cool if they just kind of built that into the cake kind of thing. Outside of that, making it to where all the things that we can do for FS22 was a contract available. So stone picking, contract available. Because, I mean, you go around any map, and every single person who plays this game has the same exact issue on their map. I guarantee it. Look at this. Anything that is not owned specifically by me, so farmlands number 1, 20, and 14, are what I own, which encompasses field 3, 4, and what I call the homestead field. Those are all clear, but every single one of these fields are littered, just absolutely littered with stones. Every one of them. Why isn't there a contract for these? Why are we now almost done with FS22 as a whole, and not a single thing was done about contracts for stone picking? That, personally, I think is unacceptable. That would have been such a huge, and what I would imagine being an easy addition. So that's something that really disappointed me when that didn't get addressed. I just thought, well, maybe it's an oversight. Maybe it's just something that Giants didn't put in, at the very beginning. Maybe they were scrambling for time and there was more important things. Maybe it's going to come in a later iteration. Maybe it's going to come in an update. Nope, and nope. And it'd be so awesome to be able to have access to those, because, being able to now have all the lime production facilities, all the various different kinds of stuff that we have access to make our own lime. I mean, but if you don't have the stones, you can't make the lime, kind of thing. And just like all the other contracts that we get that little bit of percentage, like 10%-ish, depending on the contract. Like, could you imagine if we had 10% of stones that we could keep? It'd just be nice. And even if it was just something that was just in addition to. Like, again, one of those you don't have to do it if stone picking is not your thing, kind of thing. So, I don't know. One of those I thought was a huge disappointment. Again, rolling. Rolling should have been a contract. Again, don't know why it wasn't. Yeah, just so many things that should have, could have been a part of 22, especially in the contract system, just weren't. So kind of disappointed, kind of bummed out about that. So let's see, we've got we've got Will saying the map is called El Dorado. Oh, that's right. Okay, yes, I do remember that one, El Dorado. I watched the DJ Gohan video on it. There are lots of special things on the map and lots of detail. See, so you know me. I'm a sucker for detail. I'm an absolute sucker when it comes to detail. So, and just knowing that it's custom modding, I mean, yeah, it's going to be something good. Custom modding makes amazing maps, or I'm sorry, amazing mods. And is this the first map by Custom for FS22? I can't think of another one off the top of my head. Yeah, I can't think of another one off the top of my... Or Connect. I keep saying Custom. Connect modding. That's the only one I can think off the top of my head where they are doing mods. I think they only do mods. Anyways. Where was I? Custom Motorsports. Hi, BDD. Hi, Custom. How you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Ken says, have you checked that map out? I have not checked it out yet. A couple of screenshots I got from Will the other day, but I haven't actually seen like the post about it. So I definitely need to go check that out. I'm definitely interested in checking it out. Let's see. Reckless says, I am back. Nice to see you, Reckless. Hope you had fun. Will then said, I would like to see more than 10 animal pens in the new game. I feel the new PC, or the new game is good to be only for PC and new gens. Yeah, I think that's most likely going to be the case as well. I think that the old gen consoles are not going to be receiving too much love going forward into the future for any games. I just think that it's getting to the point where games are starting to become so, advanced that the old generation consoles are just not able to keep up with them. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I like the fact that we had this for all generations of consoles, but I mean, it's just what happens. It just happens with time. Eventually it just dies off, and you gotta get the upgrade. And it stinks. It really stinks because, it's not cheap. It's not cheap to be able to just up and go to the next system or go to the next latest and greatest thing, kind of thing. But that's something that I would love to be able to do with this channel, is eventually start doing like sweepstakes and giveaways and stuff like that. I'd love to be able to do stuff like that if this channel continues to grow and continues to do well like it's been doing. I'd love to be able to do something like that, to where be able to give a system away or do something. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even know how something like that would even work. But I don't know. I would love to be able to give back to the community in one way, shape, or form, because I have so much fun doing this channel and doing everything I'm doing here that I'd love to be able to do something more right now. And unfortunately, we're not there yet, but that is a goal of mine. I would love to be able to do something like that. Let's see. So let's keep on heading around, getting this all racked up, and then I'll catch up with the chat and see where we left off. Yay. That's I am. Oh yeah, I am. There we go. Okay. Now I think we got it. There we go. Now, oof, I am making a real hash of this. Oh yeah, this is This is going good. This is going real good. I'm happy. I'm happy. Let's see. Let me see if I can read and drive at the same time. It's not going to be pretty, I can tell you what. Will says connect modding, not cut. Yeah, I screwed up. They are partnered with Case IH. Oh, really? That's awesome. Will also says, what did you think of the screenshots? Oh, dude, those screenshots you sent me earlier, like I said, Will, you've got a really good eye. Like a really good eye. The one screenshot with the sunrise, it was either sunrise or sunset. I think it was sunrise. Coming up over the farm there, like, dude, like postcard level stuff. Like if you could cut out the top information bar and all that stuff and just have the picture in its entirety, dude, like I could see like some small town like putting that in their little their like postcard bin, be able to like, hey, wish you were here. Like I said, you got a really good eye for that kind of stuff. Highly, highly impressed. Let's see. And then Will also says, number 5 and number 6 manure pits are done. Whew. Yeah, when you're talking, number 5, number 6, like that's a lot of manure pits there, bud. That's a lot of poo. Holy smokes. Like you're talking hundreds upon thousands of liters of manure that you're going through just to get that all cleared out. That's insane. There we go. Now, oh, see, it's not getting that stuff in the corner there. Little corner bits. Let's see if I can get it from this direction. I don't know why. It just sometimes you can't get it from one direction, but you can get it from another, which is what it looks like it's doing here. Yep. That's exactly what's happening. And we're missing bits now. What is going on here? We're missing tons of bits. What? What are those? Oh my goodness. Oh, that kind of steams me up right there. Look at that. See, this is why I was nervous about using this particular set of equipment too, is that this happened last time. There was all these little bits, all these little chunks that didn't get picked up or didn't get flipped. Ugh, just ugh. Let's see, Will says, all by myself too, LOL. Yeah, right? Now, was that what you were saying your wife was supposed to be helping you with? Or she was saying that it was supposed to be an all-nighter or something like that? Let's see. Smoke says that's what she said? Oh, no. Oh, no. Smoke, are you sure your name isn't Michael Scott? I really hope that more than just myself got that reference. Just throwing that out there. Just really hoping. We'll see we'll see if anybody out there picks up on that one. Let's see. Will says all of it is going to number 1 field. LOL. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna need a lot of manure for that field. All right, I think we're starting to pick up. All right, I'm not seeing any big chunks anymore. Oh, see, there's more right there. Oh man, tons of it over here. What is up with this? Ugh, just ugh. Let's see. Will says that the one manure pit was by the two in one cow barn. Oh, gotcha. And then those two cow barns hold 700. Yeah, 700 head of cattle. Wow. Yeah, you said you were up to like 40, 43 or 4,500 cows on your map, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, see, look at all this stuff that I missed. Like, this is... Oh, that is... Like, I can understand not getting some of this stuff on, like, the edge here. Like, the very far outer portion of the field there. Because, who knows, for some reason, like, it just doesn't recognize it because it's not technically a part or on the field. But this stuff here, like, these little blips, boop, 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 all this stuff we're hitting right now. Like, that is, ugh, just, ugh. Like, why do you gotta be so mean? Alright, I think for the most part we're okay for now. Let's go ahead. Set the worker off. Then I think I'll get the other tedder maybe, and have them start working on the other field. Or maybe I'll just have them work on this field and I'll just have them work towards each other. Yeah, see, it looks like we're doing all right now. All right. Yep. Perfect. All right, let's turn that back off. All right, so we'll start over here. There we go. Perfect. Now we should be good. All right, let's check in with the chat. So we've got Will saying, let's see, the three after went to 3 cow barns and hold 300 each, 900 head total. Whew. Ken says, yep, I got that. Nice. Nice, Ken. Love it. Go ahead and give it a shout out if you know what I'm referencing there. Let's see. Will says I went to another cow barn that holds 500 head. One went to the cow barn that holds 125 head. Holy smokes. That's a lot of cows. Like I said, the biggest cow operation I've done was actually on Maypole, and that one I think was 500 or 1,000? It was quite a bit. It was the most I've ever done, and one of those... Oh, no. We're not going to get everything if we don't... If we don't make a bigger headland. Oh, man. Alright, well... Might as well just make the second pass on the headland. That animation, though. That animation is awesome. But yeah, when I was doing that Maypole farm, like I said, it was either 500 or 1,000. It was the most I've ever had. And I was producing milk and manure and slurry so quick. It was ridiculous. The amount of product that I had. And I was having a hard time thinking of, like, what can I do with this stuff? Like, I was only using, like, a small percentage of what I had on the fields. So it was just one of those that I was vastly outproducing myself than what I could make. So I was sitting there trying to think of, okay, well, is there any productions that take manure and all that stuff? And it's like, oh, man, I don't know what to do. It's like, I don't want to just not use it kind of thing. So eventually I bought the dairy and started making cheese. I made tons and tons of cheese. But it was just one of those where no matter what I was doing, no matter how much I was producing, I couldn't utilize it fast enough. Let's see. Yeah, see, some reason my chat window keeps lagging behind. I don't know why. So if I'm not referring, or if I'm not talking to you right away when you post your post in the chat, I apologize. But Ken says I would prefer the Samza Tedders and Windrowers. Samza's. I'm not familiar with that brand. Or wait, the Samaz? Okay, yeah, okay, yes. Yeah, so we got that one. Didn't we have a different one too? I thought we had another one. Maybe not. Or maybe I'm specifically thinking of the Windrower. Maybe, yeah, I think I am thinking of the Windrower. Yeah, I am. Okay, yep, I was. Let's see. Will says, working on the 2 cow barns that hold 1,000 each, 2,000 head total. My wife was going to crochet stuff for Maple Weekend all night. Oof. Gotcha. So it's not even providing moral support. Ah, it's okay. It's okay. But of course, it sounds like that you needed to provide her this moral support. If she was going to be crocheting all night. No, was it specifically? Oh yeah, stuff for Maple Weekend. Okay. So does she make things in order to like sell at your family's place, or is it just like just stuff in general for the weekend? Will asked, what did I have for dinner? Well, so like I mentioned, we had ended up heading out, and we were going to stop at one of the sit-down restaurants, so we could kind of have a fairly decent variety of stuff that we could give to our daughter. And we ended up deciding to actually just sit there and eat at the food court, because it's actually a pretty decent food court. And I settled on Chipotle. Had me a nice little chicken bowl. Wasn't too bad. I don't often eat at Chipotle. I think that although it's good, it's overrated. And one of those that I feel like I can make it at home significantly better. So that's why I say or feel that it's overrated. I've got I mean, he's technically not my brother-in-law, but he's the, anyways, he absolutely loves Chipotle. Loves it. He's one of those kind of ride or die kind of people when it comes to Chipotle, and he's like, oh man, just like, oh, this is the greatest food ever, and something I could live there and eat it every single day and never get tired of it. And it's like, okay, I mean, that's cool and all, but I just don't get it. I just don't understand the hype. Like I said, I feel like I can make the same exact thing just better at home. You know, with more flavor and more like, I shouldn't say with more stuff, but less of the bad kind of thing. And it's not even that Chipotle's that bad. Yeah, I ended up having the rice and chicken bowl, and the little one, she ended up having some Chick-fil-A. So we got her some chicken nuggets, and she was tickled pink. She got a nice little bowl of fruit, which she absolutely devoured that thing. I was actually I was laughing really hard because in the mixed what is it, the fruit cocktail I think they have. Um, they have like all assortment of stuff, and they had a pineapple in there, and she grabbed the pineapple not knowing what it was, because we'd never given her like an actual pineapple chunk before. So she went to bite down on it. It had that like kind of sour-ish kind of thing to it, and she kind of did that whole shocked face, like she's like, "Woo!" I was laughing so hard. Let's see. Oh, she was making cows. Oh, now that would have been cool. I would love to see that. If she wouldn't mind, after she makes one, can you send me a picture of one? I would love to see that. That just sounds so like a crocheted cow. That just sounds amazing. Let's see. Lego Lover Paul. Love this game very much. I 100% agree with you, Paul. 100%. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. Stuff to sell. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My wife and I had fish. Ooh, fish fry. Oh, man, I love me some fish fry. Actually, so recently I made some killer fish tacos with a red cabbage slaw. Oh, man, was it good. Oh, it was so good. Uh, Paul says, I'm good. Awesome, Paul. Glad to hear it. But basically, what it is a basic fish taco with assortment of seasoning. But you take cod or any kind of mild white fish as the base for the taco, and you use I think it's like chili powder. Whoops, I think it's like chili powder and lime juice, um, salt, pepper, and several other spices. I don't know off the top of my head. And you pan fry that off. Once you pan fry the fish, in a separate bowl, you have a little bit of mayo, some red cabbage, corn, like a small diced jalapeno, lime juice, honey, and salt, pepper, and I think that's it. Might be one or two other things I'm missing, but then you take it and you mix that all up and you make this slaw that goes on top of the fish taco. Oh my goodness, it is so good, so good. And it's funny because it was actually I made it. It was earlier this month, like a couple weeks ago. My dad, um, I made it for him maybe like 2 years ago, and it's the one meal, the one thing that he specifically will request for himself. So earlier this month, it was his birthday, and he's like, "For my birthday, fish tacos, please." And I'm like, "I can do that. I can do that." Let's see. Custom says, "Hey BDD, what is your favorite color? Because I'm making a 3D print that says BD. Oh, and it'll be a necklace. Oh, no kidding, Custom. So my favorite color is red. Favorite color is red. Yeah, love. Well, mainly that came from being a Detroit Red Wings fan. So one of those that I kind of grew into liking the color red, but one of those where when I was younger, my favorite was green. Like anything green besides vegetables. I hated vegetables growing up, well, like any kid would. But no, definitely red. That sounds awesome, Custom. A 3D print that's BDD gaming. Oh, dude, that is awesome. Oh, I can't wait to see that. Uh, Ken says, "What's that?" Uh, Sorry, Ken. What are you referring to? Are you talking about in referring to custom or what something I said? Because now I'm confused. So it's kind of a deeper red. If you do a Google search for the Detroit Red Wings, it's specifically that shade of red that I'm a fan of. But I mean, it's basically just like a bright red kind of thing. Okay. Oh, dude, that sounds awesome. I can't wait to see that. That sounds amazing. Oh, now I'm excited. Now I want to tell my wife about that. She'd get a big old kick out of that. That's awesome. But yeah, no. So what was I talking about? I kind of got distracted with the 3D print. That's awesome. What was I saying? Hmm. Anyways, I'll talk about something else if I can't figure out what I was talking about previously. So, going back to what we were talking about earlier with the whole body cam stuff for cops and dash cams and stuff like that, I was actually watching something the other day because we were talking about the whole Wisconsin thing and specifically Code Blue Cam. There was another video that I watched where this girl, I don't know what she was thinking. I have no idea what was happening, but she was driving a Tesla and was this Code Blue Cam? This might have been somebody else, but don't quote me on this one on who it was, but it might have been. Um, no, I think it was them because they also do some Florida stuff. Every once in a while, they'll do Florida content nowadays because they used to exclusively do Florida content, but then they switched to Wisconsin. So my guess is that they kind of do their local area, is what I'm guessing. Anyways, um, this cop goes to pull over some girl driving a Tesla, and this girl ends up just taking off right from the traffic stop. And we are missing a big old patch. Big old patch. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Nope, nope, nope. Come on, back up like you've actually done this before. There we go. There we go. A little bit of overlap, but that'll be fine. So anyways, she takes off from the stop. The cop goes walking up to the car, and she takes off. And she's flying down this little residential area. I think it was like 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. She's flying at 70 plus miles an hour. Cop pulls her over again. She pulls over. Now he's doing a high-risk traffic stop, so he's got the gun out and the whole 9 yards. And he comes up to the window with the gun pointed at her, and he's like, "Get out of the car, get out of the car." And she's like, "Why?" She's like, "Why are you pulling me over?" And he's like, "Get out of the car." Like, he's ordering her out of the car. And for anybody who doesn't know, there's a case law called Pennsylvania versus Mims. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not saying this like is like legal advice or anything like that. But basically, Pennsylvania versus Mims is a court case that says that if a cop gives you a lawful order, like step out of the car, you are obligated in this country to step out of the car. You do not have a choice at that point. Like that, you are required by law to do it. And he's sitting there, "Get out of the car, get out of the car, get out of the car." And she's basically, "I don't have to. Why are you pulling me over? Why this, why that?" And finally he's like, "Because you were going 80 miles an hour in a 20-mile-an-hour zone." Like, you can tell he's just frustrated at this point. He's really upset. And it's like, what do people think? Like, what is going through some people's heads to think that like what they're doing is okay? And then eventually she gets out of the car and she starts talking like, "My dad owns this island, my dad owns this, my dad owns that." And she's like very obviously like just some spoiled rich girl kind of thing, like has never been told no in her entire life kind of person. At least that's the kind of vibe and attitude that I picked up on. And I'm just sitting here watching this and just in absolute shock and awe. And she's like, I'm not doing anything until my dad gets here, and I'm not doing this, and I'm not doing that. And it's like, okay, well, you're just racking up another charge. You just got another charge. You just got another charge. It's like, what is going on here? Like, why? Why? I don't get it. I don't get it. Let's see. Will says, I showed my wife that one screenshot and she really... Dude, I'm telling you. It was an amazing screenshot. An absolutely amazing screenshot. I'm not just sitting here trying to blow smoke. Like, postcard, dude. Like, absolute postcard stuff. It was gorgeous. So, just to kind of give everybody here in the chat what we're talking about here. Will sent me a screenshot earlier today, and in the screenshot, it was kind of the farm in the background, just the buildings in the background, field in the foreground, kind of thing, and the sun was just starting to crest up over top of the buildings itself. It was just absolutely gorgeous, like a just beautiful kind of picture, and just made me feel like, man, if that was like real life, sign me up. Sign me up right now, because, tell you what, I miss being out in the country. Miss it something fierce. Ken says, the food you mentioned. Oh, so what I had for dinner earlier was Chipotle. Had a rice bowl. What I was talking about earlier, for the food that I was mentioning, because Will had mentioned doing a fish fry, is I mentioned making fish tacos for my dad for his birthday. And yeah, these fish tacos, like, they're the one thing that he requests of me when he wants fish. That's what he requests, like, hey, can you whip up some fish tacos? I'm like, oh yes, I can whip up some fish tacos. Let's see. Chris says, Farm Sim, let's go. Chris, yes. Love it. Love that attitude. How you doing today? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. And then Ken said the food that, yeah. So the, like I said, so the fish tacos, like I was mentioning before, the fish itself is just any kind of mild white fish. So like cod or just something mild. It can't be very overly gamey or like that overly fishy taste to it. Otherwise it just completely overpowers and takes over the taco kind of thing. But you just use an assortment of spices. Actually, you know what? I think I've got it right here. Hold on. 1 second. I might have it saved. I do. Okay. I do. Indeed, I do. All right. So for the tacos themselves, for the fish, you want to use the juice of a lime, some olive oil, chili powder, paprika, cayenne pepper, ground cumin, and cod or other flaky whitefish. That's like the taco itself. But then in the slaw, use mayo, lime, cilantro, honey, red cabbage or purple cabbage, corn kernels, a jalapeno, salt, and pepper. And then you can top it with the juice of a lime, avocado, and sour cream. And, ooh, when I tell you what, is it ever delicious? If you like fish, especially like a mild fish, oh man, and all the other flavors just come through. The citrus from the lime just pops right there, and the coolness from the sour cream, and the little bit of the heat from the jalapeno. Oh man, is it good? It's so good. Will says, well, if you need any screenshots, LOL. If we play multiplayer, oh yes, 100%. I will put you in charge of the screenshots. 100%. KJ Wiggums, how's it going? BDD heck of a creator. You've brought such a different feel to the game and all around humbleness. Keep up the great work. KJ, I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Yeah, really, wow. That is one heck of a compliment, bud. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's really kind of you to say. Let's see. There we go. But yeah, it's funny. I mentioned this on the channel before, but it was I was actually thinking about creating before I created a gaming channel and all that. I was actually thinking about creating a cooking channel, and posting recipes and stuff like that. And who knows? Maybe one day I'll still do that. Maybe I'll make a BDD BDD cooks instead of BDD gaming, and put out all sorts of different recipes and have some fun. Like, I mean, I'm just some average guy, some normal Joe, and I just love to cook. I mean, that's the one thing that I just absolutely love to do, is making good food. If you make yourself a good meal, then it's hard to have a bad time, kind of thing. Let's see. Too bad I can't put that screenshot in here. Oh, now see, that would be cool. I wonder. It'd probably take me too long to figure out how to do it here on stream, so I won't do it here today. But I will make some kind of a mechanism to where if I can get it onto my phone, I can move it over to the computer there, and we can show it. But yeah, like I said, when I say postcard, like I said, I'm not just saying that just to say it, and I'm not trying to inflate Will's ego at all. Like, I think it is absolutely gorgeous. Like, the Will has an eye that I wish I had. I really wish that I had that kind of vision of being able to see something and be able to, like, click, take a photo, and it's good, kind of thing. But I've never had that kind of, oh man, and all those little specks of grass are still there. What is going on? And let me guess, the worker is just going to wander right over it. Oh, maybe? Maybe? Okay, okay. I feel you, worker. I feel you. Nice. That's awesome. Cool. At least I don't have to sit there and worry about whether or not they're going to hit that up again. You know what? And I'm just sitting here blabbing along, and I could be getting other workers in on this. Let's see. Don't I have another windrower? I thought I had another windrower. Oh, I do. It's right there. Hello. Hello. Oh my goodness. One of those that, like I said, if you're not familiar with Michigan and whatnot, Escanaba and Moonlight, like I mentioned before, is not going to be your cup of tea. But it is a funny movie for those who know Michigan, who've been around, and like have some understanding of, like, the lore that is, you know, in local customs and stuff like that. It's pretty hilarious. But again, you've got to have that inside knowledge before you can really kind of appreciate that movie. And there's a lot of references to, like, Native American culture, because you know, Michigan have a lot of Native American references all throughout the state and whatnot. It's very, very pronounced in Michigan's history. But yeah, such a funny movie. Wow, even on this side over here too. That is incredibly annoying. Oh well. Let's see. Ken says, I'll eat just about anything except taco shells. Really? Rather eat the box they came in. That's funny. That's funny. Now see, now hold on, Ken. Are we talking, like, hard, crunchy shells? Or are we talking like soft shells, or both? Now you got me curious. Now I'm really curious. Because me personally, I love taco shells. I love tacos. Just full sentence stop. You get me a good taco, I am a happy, happy camper. But unfortunately, I don't get to eat Mexican food all that often because the missus, she loves everything goes into a taco. She loves the meat. She loves the I don't know, corn, lettuce, tomato, cheese, like all the various toppings that can go onto a taco. She loves it. The moment you take all those individual components and put them together into a taco, nope, nope. Which means I don't get them that often. But what I will do is every once in a while, when I'm really feeling adventurous and I'm just like, you know what, I'm really jonesing for some kind of, taco flavor kind of thing, is I'll make these really killer burrito bowls. I absolutely love them. And basically, I'll take rice and I'll cook it in the pressure cooker that we have. We got one of those instant pots. I tell you what, those things are awesome. I love those. The one I've got is the Instant Pot Pro Crisp, so it's an air fryer and pressure cooker. But I'll use the pressure cooker and I'll cook the rice and I will cook it in some chicken broth, some homemade chicken broth that I've made. So it picks up all that nice chicken broth flavor. And then after that, what I'll do is I'll take the meat, I'll cook it off with the typical taco seasonings. My wife, oh, tell you what, love her to death. She made me, and again, she doesn't like tacos. She doesn't like Mexican food or anything like that. So she did this just for me. Love you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. She made me homemade taco seasoning. She went out and looked up a recipe for like all the different seasonings and stuff, all the different herbs and spices that goes into taco seasoning, and she made a homemade version of it. Oh man, was it so good. I need to get her to either make some more or send me the recipe because I want to whip up some more. Anyways, so I'll take the meat, take some taco seasonings, and I just recently started doing this with my taco meat. Is I will cook in it with some green chilies and some fire roasted green chilies and some fire roasted tomatoes, and I'll cook that in the beef, turkey, whatever protein I'm using. I'll cook that along with it, and oh man, that just kicks it up a notch in the flavor department. After that, you take in like a food processor or whatever the case may be, blender, whatever. You can use either mayo. I've been using Greek yogurt in substitution to mayo. Some chipotle peppers in adobo sauce, dill weed, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and you take all that and you blend it all together, and that is your sauce. And what you do is you take your rice, you put that down as a base, you put on your meat on top of that, and then some cheese or whatever, and then whatever kind of taco toppings you would normally put on to your taco or onto your burrito bowl. I use like corn, tomato. Ever since I've been using the fire roasted tomatoes in the meat, I've been skipping the tomatoes. But corn, avocados, lettuce, so on and so forth. All those various toppings, and then just drizzle on a nice little dousing of that chipotle sauce. It's got that hint of heat from the chipotle. It's got that smokiness and that little bit of kind of, I don't want to say bitter, but that Greek yogurt kind of zip. And oh man, is it good. It is so good. Let's see. Will says, sent you another screenshot. think it's a good one. I sent a couple more. Oh, nice, bud. Yeah, I'll check those out after stream. Ken says any taco shells. Oh, okay, okay. You know what? That's okay. So you know what? What I just said here, that taco bowl, that should be up your alley, because there's no taco shells to be seen. You get that nice kind of south of the border flavor, that kind of Tex-Mex kind of experience, uh, without the taco shell. Let's see. Luke says, I'm getting off. Have a good night, everyone. Great stream, BDD. Luke, thank you so much for coming on today. Glad you enjoyed it. Hope you have yourself a fantastic night, and we'll see you again next time. Let's see. Where is the other... Why is the other worker just sitting there? All right, up and at 'em, lazy bones. Let's go. And why is there a line? What is that? Why? Why is that a thing? There is a line in the middle of the field. And I don't know why. I don't get it. Let's see. But yeah, it was funny because the only reason I didn't do the cooking channel, like I was mentioning before, the only reason I didn't do that was because I didn't want to necessarily show my face on screen, kind of thing. I was kind of hesitant and shy and all that stuff, so it was just one of those where it was just kind of wasn't really meant to be kind of thing at that point in time. But then now that I've been doing the BDD gaming and having so much fun doing this, you know, I've been considering like going out and showing my face. Like I mentioned on stream several times, I was thinking about buying a camera, thinking about, you know, putting my face out there and doing stuff like that. And you know, funny story is that here recently, my wife actually bought me a shirt with the channel name on it. You know, it's the subscribe button and BDD Gaming kind of thing. So I've been going around wearing that and whatnot, and it's just, it was a really cool gift and a really sweet thing that she got me. But it was just one of those, like I've been considering, you know, the putting my face out there and doing all that stuff, and like I said before, it just wasn't in the cards. Just wasn't something I was really confident enough in doing, and now I'm kind of growing into it, growing more and more comfortable, and now it's like, you know, I'd consider putting my face out there, consider, you know, doing a face reveal and all that stuff. I don't know, it's just, it's funny how you can grow as a person, grow as an individual. You know, I'm 40 years old, and there's certain things where I'd firmly say, no, not going to do it, you know, and just be stubborn about it, be obstinate about it, because that's the way I feel about it at that time. Unfortunately, I can't give an example about what I'm talking about, but just, you know, there's, once you reach a certain age, there's just certain things you do not bend on. You're not flexible on. And I think that it's not even just an age thing as much as it is just, there's just certain things that some people are not going to acquiesce to. Just full sentence stop kind of thing. Well, at that point, I was pretty much at that stage. It's like, no, not going to do it, not going to, not even going to consider it kind of thing. But now it's, the more and more I think about it, the more I'm kind of getting comfortable with talking behind the microphone and doing all that stuff, the more I think, like, yeah, it'd be kind of cool to put it out there and whatnot. Let's see. Ken says, have a good night, Luke. Will also says, I have almost sold 200,000 worth of stuff last week. Oh, 200, 200,000. 200 worth of stuff last, wow. That's awesome, man. Haven't made any content yet because the GoPro still hasn't come yet. Oh man, yeah. As soon as the GoPro comes, man, definitely start, you know, zipping some stuff out there, because it'd be pretty sweet. Let's see. Let's get these little lines, because it's just, I don't have OCD, but sometimes I feel like I do because I see this and it's just driving me insane. Like, why? Why is this here? And I know as soon as I come back around with the baler, it's just going to skip over this whole line here and it's just going to leave me hanging. So I don't want to leave that out. So we'll go ahead and clean it up. Clean it up. But yeah, it was funny. My wife, we were out and about at the store earlier today, and she's like, I'm really in the mood for corn on the cob. Really in the mood for some corn on the cob. I guess my dad had made mention of it the other day. She's like, ever since he talked about it, ever since he said corn on the cob, I've been just jonesing for it. I'm like, all right, let's do something with corn on the cob. Maybe we'll do like steaks and some corn on the cob. I can either that or I think I may mention and so like I was mentioning before, she doesn't like Mexican food like at all. I guess that she loves all the individual components, but the moment it gets that kind of flavor palette or profile, she just doesn't care for it. So I always joke with her, always, and I'll say like, oh well, I'll say something goofy like, oh, so what do you want to do for dinner tonight? Or she'll ask me, what do you want to do for dinner tonight? And I'll be like, oh, let's do tacos. Oh, jeez. As she sits here and opens the door and gives me a heart attack. Holy smokes. That just startled me. Whew. Okay. Breathe. Let my heart rate come back down a little bit. Anyways, so oh, hey, good timing too. That worked out. Oh, yeah, it did work out. Okay, that is hay. Perfect. Let's fold that up. So I'll just sit there and mess with her, and like, oh, she'll ask me, what do you want for dinner? And I'll tell her, oh, well, how about tacos? And I know every single time I say something like that, she just rolls her eyes at me and just gets, like, that whole like, say it again kind of look on her face. Like, say tacos one more time. Good night, sweetie. Love you. Oh, throwing things at me now? I'm going to pause the stream 1 second. Y'all, I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Sorry about that. My wife had to go into my office for something and then came back in. She's getting ready for bed, so I was wishing her good night. So anyways, what was I saying before? Oh, so she doesn't like Mexican food and whatnot, and I always kind of poke fun. And it's like, oh, well, how about tacos? How about something obviously Mexican? And she's like, no. And she'll give me that, like, kind of sigh, and like, if you mention that one more time, I swear I will, I will bury you somewhere that they won't find you, kind of thing. Just obviously joking and stuff like that. And and this afternoon when we're at the store and we're like, oh well, I can make steaks and corn on the cob, and I'm like, or I could make like Mexican street corn. And she just rolls her eyes and just walks away. And it was just like one of those moments where it's like, she's like, why do you do this to me? Why do you just have to just take that little poke kind of thing? And I look at her and it's because I love you. What I've told her this in the past, like, something is wrong with our relationship if I'm not sitting there and poking fun. If I'm not sitting there and poking fun, then you can be worried that something's wrong. Let's see. Let me catch up with the chat just real quick. Will, are you a Star Wars fan? Ah, man. So, that is a loaded question. That is a severely loaded question. If we are talking about Star Wars, the originals, 4, 5, and 6, oh, yeah. I am a huge Star Wars fan of 4, 5, and 6. If we're talking 1, 2, and 3, yeah, kinda. They're okay. They're not, they're not terrible. They're not the greatest, but they're not the worst. If we're talking 7, 8, and 9, no. Just no. Not a fan whatsoever. Was extremely disappointed with 7, 8, and 9. I haven't watched the new like Han Solo. I haven't seen The Mandalorian. Honestly, ever since 7, 8, and 9 came out, I gave up. I just threw my hands in the air and it's like done. Just done. And pretty much anything Disney or anything like Marvel, like all that stuff. I used to love Marvel. I used to love like Captain America, Iron Man, and all those, like early stuff. Pretty much anything pre, I don't know. Pretty much anything pre-Avengers 2 was pretty good. Like pretty solid. And that's where it really started kind of drop down and go downhill for me. Was after Avengers 2. Now, don't get me wrong, they had some good ones here and there afterwards, but no, just pretty much anything Disney touches nowadays, in my opinion, is pretty much trash. And I think a lot of the numbers are kind of playing that out to be the case. But yeah, when George Lucas was around and he was, doing the whole Star Wars gig, and yeah, that was the heyday. That was good. Now, don't get me wrong, for those who are really deep into Star Wars, and I mean really deep into Star Wars, George Lucas made some flops. He made some flops. Anybody interested in kind of torturing themselves, and I do mean torture, look up the Star Wars Holiday Special. And yeah, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to George Lucas and making some flops. And for something with such a star-studded cast, and I mean star-studded, we're talking B. Arthur, we're talking just so many, big names back in those days, back when it was made, which I think was the 80s. I'm question mark. It was terrible. It was just absolutely it was so. Here's the thing: it's one of those movies or one of those shows, because it was TV, made for TV. It was one of those where you would tell your friends about it and be like, you have to watch it, and you have to watch the whole thing, just so they sat back for the hour and a half, however long it was, just so they would come back to you and it's like, what are you thinking? Why would you do that to me? Kind of thing. Just as like a joke to them. And it's like, oh, well, just, I needed somebody to share in my misery kind of thing. I did do that to a friend of mine once. It was pretty funny. But he wasn't too pleased with me. It's like, man, I sat through that whole thing and literally 20 minutes of Chewbacca just going, or actually, it wasn't even Chewbacca, it was his family going for 20 minutes and you not understanding a single thing that they're saying. Needless to say. Anyways, let me see what's going on here on the Ken says, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Have all the Star Wars movies. Oh yeah. See, Will says, same on May the 4th, I read I read that all the movies will be playing in the theaters plus 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace. Wow, 25 years already. Love the man. See, my brother-in-law has been talking up the Mandalorian something fierce, and he's like, "No, Dave, you got to check it out. You got to check it out." And it's like, I know, but 7, 8, and 9. He's like, "No, dude, I'm telling you, you got to check it out." And it's like, "Yeah, but 7, 8, and 9." And it's like, yeah, okay. One of these days, I'm gonna check it out. I know it's gonna happen. It's just one of those that I've just gotta, you know, stop letting 7, 8, and 9 be the deciding haunting factor kind of thing, and just suck it up and do it kind of thing. Because, like I said, what's funny is he has a YouTube channel. It's gone silent here. It has gone silent, but he is a subscriber to the channel. It's the Forge TCG, is my brother-in-law, and Forge, he has a little Mandalorian in his channel page, and it's a cute little miniature kind of looking thing, and it's cute, you know. But he's a huge Mandalorian fan. He absolutely loves it. I really should check it out. But like I said, it's just one of those that I struggle so hard to just get over the fact of what Disney has done to all their intellectual properties, has just completely, you know, turned everything on its face. And I don't know. I just can't. You know, it's not that I can't. It's just I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed in somebody who grew up loving Disney, who loves watching the classics. Just seeing what they become nowadays, it just makes me sad. It just makes me really sad. And just seeing how that has perversed into every single property that they've touched and that they have rights to. That's part of what I say when I'm talking about, you know, being bad stewards of intellectual property. It's just, you can tell Disney, of all corporations, and they're some of the most egregious out there, has become infected with the message over the story. We must portray a message rather than telling a good story. And it's incredibly sad, because they used to be the best storytellers. They used to be the best thing on the planet. Ooh, I should get some. Yes, I do have some. There we go. Perfect. Because if I can get a bonus, why not? All right, so oops, helps if you lower it down. Why am I going so slow? There it goes. It's like, man, why am I going so slow? That shouldn't be the case. It's supposed to be the quick bail, not the slow quick bail. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, now we're talking. So let me catch up with the chat real quick, and then I will keep working here. So yeah, Will saying love the Mandalorian. Yeah, I gotta check it out. I gotta check it out. It's one of those that between I've heard it so many times. I've heard so many people say that it's such a good show. I need to give it a try. Ken says, me too, Will. Seen all 3 seasons. Custom says, hey BDD, would you want the necklace to be taken apart so you can get the necklace into pieces? You know what, Custom? I tell you what, I will trust you in however you think is going to be best. It's one of those that because I can't see it and can't visualize what you're referring to, I'll completely trust you in however you think would be best. So again, that sounds amazing, Custom. Thank you so much. By the way, that just sounds really cool, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that because that just sounds like it just sounds awesome. Will says the Acolyte Star Wars show is going to be awesome. It takes place before the Clone Wars, based off the Old Republic, where the Jedi were their top power. Do you like Lord of the Rings? They are my personal favorites. I love Lord of the Rings. Love Lord of the Rings. Yeah, they are fantastic. And again, another example of what I'm talking about in regards to bad stewardship. The Amazon Prime version of the show, I didn't care for it. I didn't like it whatsoever, and I thought, again, it was just the message before the content. And yeah, it makes me sad. It makes me really, really sad. The original Lord of the Rings, with oh my goodness, what was his act? What was the guy who played the Hobbit? What was his name? Oh man, that's gonna drive me nuts. Why can't I remember his name? He always reminds me of a kid. Elijah Wood. Elijah Wood. I know I think he's like my age, but he always just looks so darn young. I don't know what it is. It's just he's got that perpetual baby face. Oh man, we're gonna have to work around that tractor there. Let's do this. Let's just get it out of the way. Let's do some whee. Close enough. Let's see. So yeah, like I said, well, Lord of the Rings, absolutely loved them. I even liked the Hobbit movies. What I really need to do is I need to take some time and read the books. I really need to sit down and read the books. But no, I mean, just the original Lord of the Rings were just so breathtaking in how they were made and how they were filmed. Peter Jackson did such an amazing job with those movies, and then just I don't know. Like I said, it's just one of those where the message took over, and Amazon, I think, I think Amazon just really blew it. And I think they're invested so heavily in it that that's why they have to make a season two. But I think that's also why they fired so many of the creative cast that were a part of the original season. They ended up going through and just completely cleaning house because I think they realized, hey, nobody likes this garbage. Nobody wants to be preached at when they go to watch their shows. They want to be entertained. That's it. And I think I think a lot of these companies, although very slowly, are learning this lesson. Especially when it comes to like movie theaters and stuff like that. Like, to go to the movies is expensive. To go to a movie, with let's say a family of four, you're going to spend $100 out the door when just getting there, getting food, getting candy, doing all that stuff. You're going to spend $100. I'm not going to go and spend $100, for my family to go watch a movie that's just going to sit there and tell us how bad of people we are, kind of thing, or whatever the case may be, whatever the message that's wanting to be thrown out there, or regardless of what the message is. I'm not gonna do that. I want to be able to turn off my brain and have fun, and I just don't think that Hollywood's capable of not doing that right now. But like I said, it's one of those that I will definitely need to check out The Mandalorian, because like I said, there's too many people who are telling me, oh no, it's good, it's good, it's good, and yeah, there we go. We're making our way around. Let's see. Oh man, I missed a big old patch there. What was I thinking? All right, let's see what the chat's saying here, because I am falling behind big time. Ken says cool to Will. Will says my one friend works for Warner Brothers. No kidding? Oh, now that's cool. Ken says I've got all 3 Lord of the Rings movies. Oh, same here. Plus the Hobbits. Same here. Todd. How's it going, Todd? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. The Mandalorian is a great series. I liked Ahsoka and Obi-Wan as well. Now, isn't Ahsoka, isn't that the one with the different colored lightsaber? I can't remember. It wasn't black. No. So, I cannot remember. Ken says, seen the Ahsoka series, Boba Fett series, Obi-Wan series. Nice. Todd says, not a big fan of the Boba Fett series. They want to reboot Lord of the Rings. Yes, so they actually did reboot Lord of the Rings. So it was on Amazon Prime. They ran it for a season, and it flopped miserably, and deservingly so. It was called Lord of the Rings: The Ring of Power, and it was just, yeah, not good whatsoever. Ken says won't be the same. Or wait, are you saying that they're actually like getting ready to do an actual movie of Lord of the Rings? Are we talking about the 2 different things? Custom says, "LOL, that's not a lot of pressure." like I said, Custom, I trust you. And I just think that's incredibly kind of you to be putting something like that together for me. So I think that's awesome. So I trust you, and one of those that I will doff my cap to your expertise. Jonah says I am back, and says I would tell you a grass joke, but I have to cut it. Jonah, I've been waiting this whole stream, bud. This whole stream for it. And yes! I love it. Ken says LOL to Jonah. Todd says the books will well, not ruin, but surprise you on what was left out. I read the books first. Same goes with the Hunger Games series. See, it seems like that's the case with every book to movie or book to TV or whatever the case. Like, anytime there's a book or something that's based off a book, is that there's so much information. Harry Potter is the same way. I mean, there's so many different like things that can be held in a book that you just run out of time. You just cannot cram all that detail, all that information into one movie. So it doesn't surprise me that there's tons of stuff that were left out of any series that was a book first. And I 100% agree with what people say when it comes to, oh, the book is, infinitely better than insert whatever the movie is. And it's like, yeah, the reason that is oftentimes is that your imagination is limitless. Your imagination is your own, and you create the world, yourself based on the kind of imagery that they put forward. So there's nothing that's going to be more kind of, in your own head than your own head kind of thing. So there's really, I don't think, ever going to be a time where, you can be like, oh, well, I read this book and the movie surpassed it, kind of thing. That's going to be a very rare kind of feat, because like I said, your own brain is just so limitless as to how to world build that you're going to infinitely come up with something significantly better than what somebody else can put forward on a screen, kind of thing, or what somebody else's imagination is going to render true, kind of thing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Back up, back up, back up. Beep, beep, beep. There we go. So yeah, we're going to run around. We're going to get all these bales whipped up and made. After we get these made, we're going to go back to the farm. We're going to pick up the bale trailer. I think my new semi can connect to it, because I put on a hitch onto that semi, and with that explicit purpose to be able to use that trailer and not have to worry about, only going 20 miles an hour. But that was the old trailer, not the new one that I have. Or wait, no. What am I talking about? What was I just thinking there? I still have the same trailer. What am I talking about? Yeah, there we go. We are 33 bales. No. Don't forget. There we go. So we are just running around getting all this. No! Reverse. Oh, golly gee willikers. I am just making a real hash of this. All right. Let's try this one more time. One more. Big money, big money, big money, no whammies. Oh, come on now. Oh, hey, I'm even missing stuff on the outer edge. All right, now we can get this. Let's get this. No more missing, no more silliness. Let's get this field done. Holy cow. You know what just dawned on me? What just kind of ran through my head right now? Could you imagine doing this field with just standard equipment, like a normal baler, a normal trailer, like all that stuff? Not the quick baler like what we got here, not the, the auto loading trailers that I'm going to be using. Could you imagine how much time? Like, this stream has been going on for 2.5 hours now. 2.5 hours. And we are just starting to make bales. We're only just starting to make bales. Like, this is a monster of a field. And if we were doing like the traditional, like the actual way of doing this, this would take forever to get done. Oof, just making me, just thinking that just made my skin crawl. It's like, ugh, all that time. Oh, there's that train. It's eyeballing me. That train is, one of these days, we're going to just go headlong into that train. I can feel it. I don't know why. No. Oh, and there's a chunk right there that I missed. There we go. One of these days, that train and I are going to go head to head. And that train's going to win. Oh, come on now. Yikes. All right, you know what? Before we pick back up, let me see what the chat's saying right now. All right, where was I? Will says Obi-Wan was amazing. Todd says Ahsoka has the white saber. Okay, I was right. So it was a odd colored, because I know there's specific colors that mean specific things. Like the blue saber refers to like the younglings and like the people who are just kind of starting out in the ways of the Force. More of a fighter and less of a like Force user. Green is somebody who's more mastered the Force and has like become more in tune with the 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 deeper realms of Force wielding. There's orange for the Temple Guards. There's red for the Sith because they corrupt the Kyber crystals. There's purple just because of Samuel L. Jackson and only because of Samuel L. Jackson. Which, okay, fine, whatever. What else? There's white for Ahsoka. There's black, and I forget what the black was for. But yeah, like each color has its own specific meaning. I think there's even yellow out there now as well. I can't remember what that one was. Will says, know the movies, not the show. Oh, okay. So they're looking to remake the movies. Ugh, just no, please. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants this. Why is it that Hollywood thinks that all they can do nowadays are remakes and remasters? Why is that a thing? Man, does that really get my gears ground? Just, oh my goodness. Why is it that Hollywood thinks that we have to always rehash the past? Why can't we just let the classics be? Why can you not be creative and come up with a new idea? Why is it that every single time that we have to come out with something, it has to be something that's been made already 50 million times already, and it was already made significantly better than what you'll ever see again? Wizard of Oz is a perfect example, and that one really upsets me. That one, like, I'm really, really nervous about going to see that one, because that one, I've said on this channel before, that one I hold very near and dear to my heart. The original Wizard of Oz was something that my mother, when she was alive, she absolutely loved that movie, and I am petrified that they modernized it for, you know, for this remake or whatever. I don't know if it's a remake or if it's a you know, expansion of the world like the Oz Great and Powerful was. Like, if they were to do a prequel or something like that, that's fine. That's totally fine. I am fine with expanding the world. Again, as long as you're a good steward with the IP. If you're not a good steward and all you're looking to do is correct the evils of the previous work or whatever, then get out of here. Just get lost. I have zero patience or tolerance for that kind of silliness. But no, it seems like Hollywood only wants to go out and just remake stuff that they've already made. What is it? They think that they can just keep coming back to that golden goose or something? Do they think they're going to keep getting these golden eggs even with the modern renditions? No, I mean, they've been proven time and time again that this is a failing formula. What is it going to take for them to be like, you know what? We're not going to do this stuff anymore. We're not going to, you know, make these modern interpretations of classics. You know, where's the line? What is why? Huh, that's weird. Sorry, I don't mean to go on a little tirade there, but oh my goodness, that drives me nuts. It's like I said, I don't watch movies nowadays because of this nonsense, how they think that everything needs to be remade and everything needs to be kind of brought up to the modern age and the modern way of thinking. It's like, ugh, just I cannot stand it. And like I said, I won't spend my money on this stuff. I will not patron it. You know, the reason, so I was mentioning earlier how I didn't like 7, 8, and 9. The reason I didn't like 7, 8, and 9 of Star Wars was because 7 was literally 4, literally, almost shot for 4. It was 4. Except replace Luke Skywalker with Rey, replace Darth Vader with Kylo Ren, replace all, like, basically you basically have 4 just in a modern setting. That's it. It even had the same exact scene where Rey, goes into the woods and meets up with Kylo Ren, kind of thing, is a kind of like I don't know, want to say a homage, but basically a ripoff of Luke going to see Vader in the woods when he was on Dagobah. Like, what? Why? Like, what was the point of literally almost a shot-for-shot remake? And then they make Rey so unbelievably, ridiculously powerful. Like, so Rey is supposed to be just this kind of, outlander kind of thing. Like, somebody who's just been kind of, getting by just barely kind of thing. She's supposed to be, this tough kind of, scrapper kind of thing. And she gets into a fight with Kylo Ren and wins. Now, Kylo Ren is a Force user who's been training his entire life. Was being trained by Luke himself. And she wins with 0 saber training, with 0 Force training, with 0 training whatsoever. And I'm supposed to believe that? I'm supposed to be like, oh yeah, that's plausible. Just because she's the Emperor's daughter, or yeah, was she the Emperor's daughter? I think she was the Emperor's daughter. Like, okay, so she would have a high midichlorian count and thus would be able to, be very good with Force wielding, potentially, if trained. But again, if trained is the key words. She's not just going to be an awesome character by default. And then 8 I didn't care for because it was basically this whole, like, capitalism bad kind of thing. And then 9 was okay, but it was trying so hard to make up for what 7 and 8 were lacking that it was just trying to do too much. It was trying to do so much with so little preceding it. So it's just, yeah. Just not. Anyways, I'll stop. I'll stop now. Let me catch up with the chat real quick and see what everyone's saying. Alright, where was I? Let's see. Jonah says, got too busy playing with my model trains. Hey, you know what, Jonah? Nothing wrong with that, bud. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Well, it says my favorite shows are Jack Reacher, The Big Bang Theory, and Blacklist. Big Bang Theory, I do like that show. I like that show a lot. Um, so a couple of the ones that I absolutely love are Big Bang Theory. I like that one. There's How I Met Your Mother. That's a really good series and a lot of fun. A lot of fun on that one. What's his name's character? He plays Barney Stinson. What is his name in real life? Neil Patrick Harris. Neil Patrick Harris's character he did such a good job with that character. Um, there's an oldie but a goodie, Frasier. I loved Frasier growing up and still do to this day. Love kicking on some episodes of Frasier and watching that. What else? Another classic in the same kind of universe was oh goodness, why am I blanking on the name? Cheers. Cheers was another good one. Again, same creator, same character veins and all that. Let's see. What are some other good ones? My wife got me into a show not too long ago. It's called Two Broke Chicks, I think. That one's okay. That one's like, there's some good funny humor in it, but it's one of those that it really leans very heavy on the kind of innuendos kind of thing, and that kind of gets to be a bit old after a while, but just one of those, like I said, it's pretty good for the most part. Let's see, trying to think of some other ones that are some real good ones. Friends, I you know what, say what you will, I do like me some Friends. I think that was a really good show. Yeah, I get a kick out of it. My wife and I watch it, and I enjoy it. Let's see. And I tell you what, it did make me sad when I heard about Matthew Perry. Um, and him passing, but not really a shock, to be honest with you. He treated his body horribly for many, many years. Oh, come on. Come on. You can do it. There we go. Like if you watch the show Friends and you watch like at the very beginning onto like seasons 3, 4 ish, you'll see how he kind of starts the series and he's relatively healthy looking, and then he gets into like seasons 3 and 4, give or take, and he is extremely, extremely addicted to drugs and alcohol. So much so that he's, not eating. That's why he looks so skinny in those seasons, because he's just so just out of his gourd with I forget what he was taking, but yeah, lots of drugs and lots of alcohol, and then towards the later ends of the whole show, the whole series, you see how he puts on a load of weight by the end of the series, and that's after he had come off of all the drugs and alcohol. And yeah, it was just one of those where he was able to keep on and put on weight at that point. It was really sad. It was really sad to see him kind of go through that, and kind of knowing that information after the fact. You go back and rewatch that series, and it's just sad. It's just really, really sad to see how he kind of, progressed. I mean, it was great that he eventually kind of overcame his demons, and whatnot. But I don't know. Just I feel bad for anybody who has to go through something like that. Go through addictions. It's really tough. It's really sad. Because oftentimes they'll choose the addiction over anything and everything else in their lives. Over their friends, over their family, over everything. And it's just often to their detriment. And especially if it's somebody who's close in your family, you got to sit there and just watch them. Like, there's almost nothing that you can do to help them or to, to do anything about it. Like, you just have to sit back and, oh, hello. Really? How do I have too many bales? That's weird. How do I have too many bales? Huh. Okay, well. Alright, well, it gives me a chance to catch up with the chat. So, we've got... Oh, wow, I'm way behind. Oh, no, wait. I'm not. Okay. Jonas says, train always wins. Well, I was saying something like that earlier. Is basically that train and I on the map are going to go head to head, and the train's probably going to win. Let's see. Let's drop this off here. You going to let it go? There we go. I'm pretty sure I can hook up to this trailer. I'm pretty positive. Yes. Okay. Oof. Alright, let's see how 700 horsepower can pull this particular trailer. Because remember, with the truck there, it could only move at about 22 miles an hour. Alright. It got up to speed. That's awesome. Cool, I'm happy about that. I'm just really concerned as to why I've only made like 90 some bales. And for some reason I have no ability to make any more. That's weird. All the other bales I have are in my storage. Huh. I mean, at the end of the day, not the worst thing in the world. We'll just pick them up and go. We'll go over here. Whee! The only thing is, it's going to be really hard to find these bales. Let's see, it's on easy, yes. Oh. You know what? I almost wonder if it'd be a good idea. Ooh! I almost wonder if it'd be a good idea just to sim through the night so that we can get back into daylight. You know what? Yeah, let's just do that. It's already, what? It's 6, almost 7 o'clock in game. Let's do that. Let's just go ahead and crank up the speed. Anyways, that'll give me a good opportunity to check out what's everyone's saying up at this point. So, we've got... Where was I? Bailing at night, not good. BDD gaming. Yeah, I'm right there with you. That's why we're fast forwarding. Will says, Lord of the Rings, 3 movies, not including The Hobbit, 17 Oscars, 100%. Yeah, and all of them deserved. Every single one. Vortex says, hello Vortex, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Will also says they are making a Fallout and Borderlands movie. I don't know about that. I don't think there's ever been a movie that based off a video game that's been all that great. I don't know. At least I can't think of one off the top of my head. Sorry for bringing it up. Oh no, don't worry about it, bud. Ken says, welcome to the chat, Vortex. Todd says The Office. Oh yeah, there you go, The Office. How did I forget that one? I literally made a reference to it earlier. MASH. That's another great one. Ken says granddaughter. Granddaughter. Yes, his granddaughter. That's it. You're right. Ray was the Emperor's granddaughter. Todd says, have you seen the meme that Cheers and Frasier was a holodeck program in Star Wars because of the crossover character? No, I haven't. Ooh, now I want to see that. Let's see. Custom says, the necklace will not be done tonight due to the chain, but it will be done soon. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, like I said, take your time. I'm just excited. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Ken says, Ray is the granddaughter of the Emperor. Okay, yes. And then Custom says, I'm also getting tired, so yeah, I'm going to go chill for tonight. Oh, no, I understand. I completely get it. There we go. Now we're into some daylight hours. Let's get this done. Actually, that worked out pretty good, because now I think I'm caught up with the chat. Just make sure I refresh it, make sure... Yep. All right. Well, Custom, if you're going to take off, I hope that you have yourself a fantastic night. I, again, greatly appreciate the thought about the necklace. I am really looking forward to seeing that. Like I said, really looking forward to being able to tell the missus about it, because, yeah, that's pretty sweet. All right, we're going to keep running around. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Let's see. So... So yeah, this truck is significantly better at picking up and driving around the bales than my truck, because this thing, I can actually get up to speed. Like that's huge. Being able to just get this thing up to speed. Oh, am I gonna make it? Oh dear. Hey, I made it. Like that by itself is gonna make it so much faster. Because before, I mean, basically it's doubling the speed. Whereas before, this thing here barely got up to 20, 25 miles an hour. Now we can get it up to, 51 miles an hour. And we can actually get things done. There it goes. Okay, so one trailer load got that contract halfway done. All right, so now we can turn here. Ooh, yeehaw. Oh dear. Oh no. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. Now, yep, we are operating position. Oh. So yeah, we're just running around picking up all these bales, trying to get these contracts completed. And we're going to be selling off all the bales. Every single one of them is getting sold off. We don't need a single one of them, because we've got plenty at the farm right now. I mean, so much so that the bale storage is almost full. That is the only thing about this truck I don't really care for, is the steering. Like, it feels like driving a boat, as I'm sure most semis would feel like, but I just feel like the turning radius on this thing is just atrocious. Clobber the bales I go, clobber the bales I go, hi-ho the dairy-o, clobber the bales I go. Holy smokes. So this should finish all of the contract for 40. This should get us completely done. Then that means all of this is mine, all of the other section is mine, and the whole field 36 is mine. So all in all, going to be a massive amount of bales and a pretty good payout, I think. I tell you what, seeing all this makes me really wish that this was silage, that this was a silage contract, because this would be huge. Huge. Oh, hey, there's a car right there. All right, here's number 2. Ooh, hey, there's a gate. There we go. And now 26% complete for field 36. So yeah, this is going to be... Oh, cool. See, thought that train was coming for me. I saw those flashing lights and I jumped. Let's see. Will says, I hopped off the game. I am now editing a video for Maple Weekend. Oh, awesome, bud. Let's see. Custom says, no problem, bye. All right, Custom, like I said, I hope you have yourself a fantastic night. Again, I appreciate it. You take care, and we'll see you again next time. Oh, hey, and it would have helped if I'd turned on the operating position. There we go. And then Todd says, in one of the memes for Star Trek, Fraser Maris is the Borg Queen. Oh no, that would totally make sense. Oh my goodness, that would totally make sense that she was the Borg Queen. Yes. Oh, now I've got to find those. Oh my goodness. Todd, by chance, are you do you have my Facebook or anything like that? Facebook or Instagram or Twitter? If you have any of those and you're already signed up to follow me, if you happen to have those or happen to know where to go to get those, can you just forward me those? I would love to see those. I'm gonna look them up, but I'm afraid I'm not gonna find the right ones. So if you have them or have access to them or know where I can go to look them up, I would very much appreciate it, because that sounds right up my alley. Let's see, Facebook and Discord. Yeah, if you check me out there on Facebook there, um, if, like I said, if you have them handy or anything like that, or know where to go, just go ahead and send me a message over on Facebook, and I can check it out from there. All right, now we got another full trailer. So this trailer should not only complete the next contract there at 36, but it should pay me out quite a bit. Found 3 Facebooks with BDD Gaming. Really? So it should be, if you look at my YouTube page, it should be the same exact graphic art that's on the YouTube page, as well as my channel symbol. It's just the black background with white BDD Gaming. And actually, while I have a second here, while I'm focusing on this, let me go ahead and give my shout outs to my tier 2s, so I can do that while emptying this out of this. There's that fence again. Animal dealers are going to love me. So, want to give a shout out to all my tier 2 channel members, starting with Mark K, Will T Gaming, Luke Bernie King. We've got Crazy Chris Sims, Ken Adlam, Rail Fanning Jonah, and Karma Comment Chameleon. All of you are tier 2 channel members. Thank you all so very, very much for your support and being tier 2 channel members. If you are interested in becoming a channel member, go ahead and check out the link in the description or the join button down below or on the main channel page. Either way will get you to the right spot, in which case, if you're interested in joining, you can have access to things such as custom badges and custom emojis, as well as the early access to edited content such as the channel shorts and the Let's Play series. And that all is for tier 1 members, starting at 99 cents a month. You can also do tier 2, which gets you everything that we just mentioned, as well as a shout out every single live stream. And that is starting at $4.99 a month. If you're interested, like I said, it goes to help out the channel in its sustainability and its continued growth. I greatly, greatly appreciate every single one of my channel members, as well as all of my subscribers and everyone listening to me here tonight. Greatly, greatly appreciate every single one of you. Thank you all so very, very much. I have had such an amazing time tonight, had such a blast just hanging out, chatting with everybody, and yeah, just doing a bit of farming around here. Let's see, that looks to be everything here. Now let's go ahead and park this over here, because there's no more on this side. Alright, now we can get this done. That's so weird. I wonder why it cut me off at 95 bales. I shouldn't have a single bale out right now. Like, not one. Oh, what is it doing? Let's see. LOL, that makes 4, found yours. Oh, cool, cool. I'm glad that you were able to find me. Yeah, apparently I was not original in picking out a channel name when it came to Facebook. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. So yeah, we are just rocking and rolling here. We're trying to get the rest of this all picked up. I saw that little straggly bit there. Let's see. Todd says, just sent you a couple. Oh, awesome, Todd. Thank you. I appreciate that. I cannot. You know what? Hold on. Let me see if it came through. Yes, it did. Okay. Let me check it out. Heather Bork on hailing frequency 1. Go ahead, caller. I'm listening. Oh no. Maris. Later in the debriefing. Very Caucasian. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I am going to enjoy that. That is awesome, Todd. That just that just made my night. Thank you so much for that one. That is awesome. Oh man. But that makes total sense. Like so much. That's like almost scary, the amount of sense that makes. Oh no. I love it. I love it. All right. So we are just chugging along. We haven't even touched. We haven't even started the other field. You figure we made 103 bales so far at, what is that, 8,000 liters per bale? Is that what it was? 9,000. 9,000 liters per bale. That's insane. That's what? That's over 900,000 liters? Let's see. Joshua says, hey, I know where Alma, Missouri is. I've been to Cameron. Oh, nice. Joshua, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. Unfortunately, other than knowing where the state of Missouri is and knowing where Alma is on a map, I have no idea where these cities are that you point out. Like I said, looked it up on a map, but outside of that, never been to Missouri, never been through it. So just one of those where it's going to be on the to-dos. There we go. We're just about, we're just creeping ever and ever closer to this. So close. So very close. Let's see. Joshua says, great NU. Just seen Alma and was like, that's a coincidence? I am doing fantastic, Joshua. Thank you for asking. We are just working here on Alma. We have a Let's Play series going where we are doing some contract work. And yeah, just right in the middle of building a farm and doing all that fun stuff. Just got to just keep chugging along, keep working. Thankfully, we got the modern modded conveniences of the quick baler here, because without this thing, this would have been an absolute nightmare. It's beautiful out there. Oh, I could only imagine if this map has done that area any justice whatsoever, then I could only imagine what it looks like in real life. And like I keep saying on this channel, the main drag, the kind of main street off to my right there, is just pure Americana. Just absolutely reminded me of my hometown growing up, that I just had to come on here and play this. I had to come on here and do a Let's Play series on here just because of that kind of remembrance factor, that whole kind of all the right chords were just struck right at the right time. Let's see. Joshua also says, I'm from good old Alabama. Nice, nice. I've been through Alabama a time or two. Very beautiful out there as well. Let's see. Almost done with this field. We are getting there. So we got 120 bales. I'm really curious at how much final product just off of this field alone we're going to get. All right, 121. So let's say 121 times 9,000. Let me get my calculator out. There we go. So 121 times 9,000. Woo! 1,089,000 liters of hay just off of this one field. That's ridiculous. Like, holy cow, that's a lot of product. Like, I'm blown away by that. Almost 1.1 million, or no, yeah, almost 1.1 million liters. I am not going to get in through that little gap. But I'm going to get in through this one. There we go. And here, let's do this. Let's go about this way. Seems like, I don't know why, it just seems like it picks up better going this way. There we go. Let's keep on going. We almost got everything, and then, yes. Yeah, see, I don't know. It almost seems like the pickup doesn't necessarily go where the light bar says. Almost like it kind of cuts out on the left side. Like, I don't know, just a little bit early. Alright, now. There we go. Alright, let me catch up with the chat. Will says, imagine how my map will be. Dude, I'm telling you, I cannot wait. Based on the map you made, the screenshots that you can take, like I keep saying, you got the eye. You've got the eye that is required to be able to understand and capture beauty. So it's one of those that when your map is done, I can only imagine, just based on the stuff that I've seen up until this point, that it's going to be just an absolute smasher of a map. I cannot wait for it to be out there. Like I said, that one screenshot that you sent me earlier was just postcard. It was literally something I would expect to see on a postcard. The township that encompasses Alma, Missouri should be contacting you just so they could get that picture, just so they can put it on their postcards there at their little visitor center or whatever, like the town visitor center. Like how cool would that be? You know what? Just I don't know why this just dawned on me, but I wonder if there's ever like a map of a town, like a real town, like Alma, Missouri here. I wonder if there's ever been like an influx of people that just all of a sudden start going to the town just to be like, oh, hey, I heard about this in Farming Simulator. Let me go check it out in real life, kind of thing. And that they just get like this influx of people just out of random and nobody understands why. It's like, why are we getting all these out of towners here? Like, this never happens. We're not like a tourist trap or anything like that. What's going on here? And they're like, people start asking all the locals, they're like, what are you doing here? And they're like, oh, I mean, I'm here because of Farming Simulator. Because of what? Could you imagine having that conversation with somebody? There we go. We're almost done. We're almost done. All right. Now, I think that's everything. Oh, man, we're so close. Look at that. We are 80 liters away from another bale. Is there anything I missed? Anything at all? I don't think I missed anything here, but I think I missed some over at the other field. I think I got this pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Oh, and... uh-oh. Come on. I require my freedom. There we go. Oh, I might be able to find just enough to get one more bale. Oh, yes! Nice. Oh, I love it. Okay. Turn that off. Turn that on. All right, let's check out what everyone is saying. So, where was I? Todd says, okay, that should get you started on Facebook. Awesome, Todd. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for sending me that. Will then says, Lance Boy has started working on the buildings. Awesome. Joshua says, I love the South, but my heart says I want to be in the Midwest. You know what, Joshua? I completely understand that. I'm originally from Michigan myself, so I too love the South. I live in Florida right now, so I completely understand what you're saying with that. Let's see. Also says, good work, my friend. I subbed. Like the video for... awesome, Joshua. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Randall says, can I join? I'm sorry, Randall. Right now we are on single-player mode, so this isn't a multiplayer game. But I greatly appreciate you asking. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Let's see. Todd says, yes, that is a typical Mack truck glitch. The left side doesn't fully pick up. Oh, gotcha. Huh. I wonder why that is. Let's see. Joshua says, I did that once, and that's how I feel. Sedalia, Missouri. That's how I found. Okay, nice. Gold Gaming says, howdy neighbors. Howdy Gold, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. Stopping back in. Todd says, I know Scranton, PA has a big tourism boom because of The Office. you can ever do a tour, and they have a museum exhibit dedicated to the office. So, funny story. A long time ago, well, that wasn't a long time ago, a few years ago, my wife and I decided that we were going up to Michigan, and on our way up to Michigan, we decided, you know what, we're going to take the scenic route. And my wife, she's like, what would you feel about going to Cleveland, Ohio? I'm like, Cleveland, Ohio? I mean, we can. I mean, why? Kind of thing. Because, like I said, we're driving to Michigan. And she's like, well, let's drive to Cleveland. I mean, it's quite a bit out of the way. She's like, well, let's just go. Let's just go to Cleveland, Ohio. I'm like, okay. I'm like, is there any particular place I'm going in Cleveland, Ohio? And she's like, just put Cleveland, Ohio into the map and we will go from there. Hey, Todd just became a member. Thank you, Todd, so much. Oh, Gold Gaming gifted a membership. Oh, Gold Gaming, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Uh, Todd was gifted a membership by Gold Gaming. Thank you, Gold Gaming. Yeah, thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What was I saying? Just got distracted there with whenever the chime goes off, it plays in my ear and just distracts me. Um, oh, Cleveland, Ohio. So I'm like, okay, where are we going in Cleveland, Ohio? And she's like, just drive to Cleveland, Ohio, and I'll point us out where to go from there, kind of thing. I'm like, okay, I guess. So we're driving to Cleveland, Ohio, and she's all of a sudden brings up on her phone which way to go. And she's like, okay, turn left, turn right, go here, go there. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we're at the Christmas Story house, the original house where the film was created. And I was just absolutely blown away. That is by far my favorite Christmas movie. It is not even close. A Christmas Story. I love that movie. Every single year, Christmas Day, I wake up, I put it on the TV, and it pretty much plays on repeat all day long. So when she, takes me to the Christmas Story house, I'm just absolutely beside myself. It's like, no way, because you recognize it right away. There we go. Sell all this. Booyah. 25 grand. I love it. So we're there at the Christmas Story house, and I'm just sitting there just absolutely just dumbfounded. And not only is it the Christmas Story house, like it's fully renovated, like completely made like the original movie kind of look and feel to it. And it has the leg lamp in the window. It's got the Christmas tree and all that stuff. And I tell you what, I didn't notice this ever. I've been, ooh, jeepers creepers. I've been watching that movie since I was a child. For years upon years upon years upon years, I've been watching this movie day in, or year in, year out kind of thing. And I never realized before, but if you look at the, like the background in one of the scenes at the beginning of the movie where they're kind of showing the house and whatnot, it shows that it's right on top of this giant industrial area. I mean, just absolutely massive industrial park right behind it. And it's like, ooh, like I would have never have guessed it. I would have never have known that that was even a thing. But I mean, I look at it and it's like the only reason that this house would have any appeal whatsoever is because it's the Christmas Story house. But like, to have like a family and live there and do all that kind of stuff, it's like, ooh, I don't know. Like, I'm sure it was like all fine and dandy, but I don't know, but it was just wild. It was really cool to like step in there. They had all the original kind of prop works and all the kind of stuff that you would expect to see from the original movie kind of thing. It was just so cool. It was such an amazing like idea and such an amazing trip. Let's see if I can get in here without drowning myself. Nice. Just like so. kind of sneak in here, good old sneaky sneak. But anyways, one of those where they had like everything. They had the old like tub washing machine, the oven, and it just everything was just like a blast from the 50s. And it's like, wow, is this so cool? And they just had it everything. All the like original props from the movie were in there, like Ralphie's notebook and like just all this really awesome stuff. And then right across the street they had set up like this little gift shop that was completely dedicated to A Christmas Story. Like I said, it was just one of the coolest surprises that she had ever done. And yeah, it was just such a blast going there and seeing that. And like I said, it's one of those, just like you said about Scranton, Pennsylvania, you know, nobody probably would have ever gone ever had this movie not existed. But because this movie existed, because there was like this kind of lore behind it, that it was a really hopping place. Like I could only imagine being one of the neighbors, because it was like a legitimate street. Like it was all kind of built up, and it was all built up around this. And the one disappointing thing is that the owner who owns the Christmas Story house now ended up buying the house next door, which was the Bumpuses, the next door neighbor with all the hound dogs. He ended up buying that property as well, and he was renovating it when we went there. So he was like restoring it and making it, you know, more like the movie was. So it was just one of those. I would have loved to have seen the Bumpus's house and how that was all set up, but alas, it wasn't meant to be. All right, let's drop this off. This should be another like 18 grand, I think. Apparently I have it out for that gate right there. $19 grand. Nice. Woo, man, we made a pretty penny. You figure we started what, like 220-ish? And just with the bales, we probably made another 60 grand. And now with the contracts, ooh, hey, we got more contracts. Nice. Bam, bam. Just like that. We're good to go. What all we got here? We got sunflowers, sugar beets, plow, cultivating. Nice. We got quite a bit of stuff going on here. But alas, it is 1 o'clock in the morning. Let me catch up with the chat real quick, and then we will go ahead and start signing out. Where was I? Will says, especially with all the special things like textures I'm adding. Yeah, so yeah, all that stuff is going to be absolutely fantastic. Again, Gold Gaming, thank you so much for gifting out a membership and giving it to Todd there. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. That is fantastic. Joshua says, Cleveland is a crazy big. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I had no idea. I'd never been to Cleveland, Ohio before this. Yeah, it was absolutely massive. And again, this is coming from somebody, I can't stand cities. I cannot stand it. I'm just wildly out of my element when I go into cities, any city. So it's just, yeah, one of those. It was a very, very big lift for my wife to get me to go, to agree to it in the first place. But then once, you know, she had me on board kind of thing, she's like, no, I got a plan. I really want to go. Let's go. Come on, please. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And yeah, finally, like, okay, we'll go. It's fine. Just, I guess, be my guiding star is basically what it boiled down to. But yeah, it was nuts. And then it was just really cool how it all worked out from there. Todd said thank you to Gold Gaming. Smoke says I'm about an hour away from Scranton. Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. Have you ever been through that area to check out the office? Let's see. Gold Gaming says, you bet, guys. And Will says, I tried taking good screenshots. Oh, dude. Tried and succeeded. All right, so it looks like I am all caught up with the chat. Again, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody who stopped in tonight, hung out with me tonight. I had an absolute blast with y'all tonight. It was just, yeah, good stuff all around. We made some massive, massive money tonight, $339,000, and it looks like we've got several more contracts that we can work on come tomorrow. Maybe, let's see, tomorrow's what, Saturday? Maybe we'll do a afternoon stream when the little one is sleeping. I will not know for certain until probably right before it happens, but be on the lookout. Might do a mid-afternoon stream. If we do, it'd be somewhere in the ballpark of 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. So if you're available, I'd love to see everybody out there and hang out with y'all again tomorrow. But all that being said, like I said, greatly appreciate everyone stopped by. I want to thank you all so much. I hope you had a fantastic time tonight. Oh, Levi, dog just died. Oh, Levi, I'm so sorry. Oh man, that's terrible. That is, as a dog owner myself, I sympathize with you greatly. We actually have a appointment for my oldest dog on Monday to do they call it a QOL, a quality of life assessment. So yeah, I understand what you're going through there, but just know that they're in a better place and that hopefully they're not in any pain anymore. But that sucks. That really sucks, bud. But no, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and sign us out from here. I hope you all enjoyed this stream, even though it kind of ended on a heavy note. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing that shows you're engaged with this channel, enjoying the content. And that being said, hope everybody has a fantastic day, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. Take care.